Good evening and welcome, faithful viewer, to this weekend's premier Overwatch event, the KOALA Cup, presented by KSY and the Koalas Esports organisation. My name is Temporal. I'm joined here in the production booth by Hasdaddy Slim as a co-caster and
Hello.
Panzer on the camera work, doing a great job, though you can't hear him, so you'll have to believe us. Panzer does exist. It's
He's
not
been
a lie. We're not insane. We're not coming down with any kind of feverish thing. Anyway, welcome, Hasdaddy. This is going to be a fun night.
It should be. I'm looking forward to this one. We have three teams, of course, competing for the coveted KOALA Cup. You know, Orisa Dive, Wambulance, and Boostio. We had a bit of problem earlier with getting everyone into their teams, getting all six ready, but we are here now. We are live, and we are ready to go.
And the winner of that cup will be. I don't know. They'll be grateful. They'll be happy. We've disinfected the cup for them. You know, we're taking all the safety precautions we can. We're keeping everyone in their own homes as well. We decided not to do this event on LAN. I mean, you got to adapt to the times, and this is what it takes to give you great Overwatch content. So here it is, the KOALA Cup from home.
Yes, and of course, tonight's winner gets a 20% discount at all Clark Rubber stores. That is a lie. That's actually not true, but you should definitely pop into Clark Rubber. They have great pool accessories. So we're going to be jumping into the first game here. It's on the pole. You know, a nice control point map. Big tower in the middle. Lovely statue in the middle. And yeah, looks like the teams are going to be picking themselves some heroes up. Of course, we've got the 2-2-2, and there's no hero bans tonight. That is what I've been told, at least. So, which is, I mean, a good thing and a bad thing. If I was playing, which I usually do as Winston, I'd be quite disappointed because Reaper is banned at the moment, so I'm quite enjoying that. But apart from that, yeah, it should be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, I'm not expecting to see anything crazy to start off with, or then again, maybe that will be the case. You know, you've got the freedom of all the heroes to choose from. You can run that weird, wacky composition you want to run. As the teams settle over something in their spawn rooms, it doesn't look like we're going to see anything too outrageous, at least from the Wambulance.
I'm seeing Skyer, at least, everyone's favourite hero, Hanzo. That is a great pick up there. Just one of the most adored heroes in Overwatch. I'm sure he will be one of the favourites tonight. On the other side, of course, we've got a nice Soldier and Trace lineup, and we're going to be jumping into this one right now. Both teams heading out of spawn.
Dive for Orisa Dive. The Orisa Dive on the left, Wambulance on the right. And we're seeing that Winston K-Rocket heard your prayers and said, you know what, we don't think Reaper's coming out either. I'm going to give it a go.
Yes, as they dive in first point of the night, the Winston there, of course, Crockett is going to be diving in early. He's already down to half health. Some nice healing though from his Anna and also the Lucio. Both teams just sort of fighting on point at the moment. Not too much going on. K-Rocket's going to go in the deep dive again. Shield almost instantly evaporated. And now the point really gets underway here. And it looks like Ryan pushing in there for Wambulance. Actually, he's already at half health though, as both teams, and it looks like McCree's going to be Crockett gets a nice jump on him there, and it's already a 5v6, but it's going to be traded back. Soul Reaper gets Riavani, and that is one healer gone, and it is actually going to be Wambulance who take the point. Rocket's going to go down as well, and this should be a one find here. Orisa Dive trying their hardest to at least either get out or stay alive, and we're going into a pause.
That's right. They got part. Look, they got part of the name right. They got the dive part. Maybe K-Rocket had fielded Orisa.
This is fantastic stuff.
That's all right. Maybe if K-Rocket had fielded the Orisa, maybe they'll have more luck. We'll see if that changes later in the match. But for now, looking at the compositions that came onto the point, yes, we saw Orisa Dive had the maneuverability. They had the speed coming from the speed boost as well, which they don't have anymore actually. But Wambulance, once they got onto the point, they're playing that solid brawly comp. They've got the Moira there and the Brigade are both pumping out solid AoE healing. Once they got started, it would have been very difficult for Orisa Dive to come back without getting significant picks at the start of the fight. Now, seeing K-Rocket go in again, has the Nano Boost and the Primal this time, so a little more survivability available, and they make great use of that. That grab is gone.
Yeah, and they're already putting him there. Jayhawk is, well, Jayhawk killed himself, but also gets to bring in the process. Crockett's going to get another one onto the Dexter. Reinhardt, Sane is going to take down the Sky, and that is going to be the point switched over to Orisa Dive, and
Infinity, the fat finger.
You never like to see that.
And just trying to zone themselves off the point.
Player in Affinity as well. He's just one of the grandmasters of this group, of course. Very well known for his diva gameplay. Very rare mistake there, unfortunately.
I don't know. Maybe just a little handicap for the other team. knowing, you know, or removing the temptation to use it in the middle of the fight, knowing that Soul Reaper has that Graviton Surge. The Coalescence out as well. Ultimate's going in straight at the start, and Squidgy picks up 2, has that in.
Yeah, so Finny and Crocker get some trades back. Squidgy has still managed to get this one going, Sane going down as well. But it looks like the point should be flipped over here. Possibly, no, Jail's going to get Duket. But they're going to go out a point there. Jail gets Squidgy, and it's still a 1v1 situation here. The Zarya, Soul left the only one on point. They are going to get taken down by Crockett. And Orisa and Dive are going to keep that one. Now just ticking over 50%.
Yep, just overtaking Wambulance's percentage now, and look, Squidgy took 4 out in that fight, but it still wasn't enough. On the bright side, for Wambulance, they're not going to be calling 000 just yet. They've got four ultimates in the bank. They've got the Earthshatter and the Graviton Surge. Those are huge ultimates. You compare the Graviton with the Dragon Strike as well, and there's not much in the way of defensive ultimates for Orisa Die. There's the Earthshatter. Wow, lays down 3.
That is a big shatter from Drax, but he's actually not going to pick anyone up and almost gets killed himself. Jahil's going to get Vidka at least, but Draxka gets stunned, isn't going to be taken down just yet. Sane is going to get Sky, Soul Reaper's going to go down, and Draxka finally gets 1 kill, but he's lost 3 of his teammates. Affinity, Jahil are going to finish the rest off there, and well, what looked like a flip of the point there towards Wambulance is well, basically beaten away. Infinity has got that Diva Bomb for this last fight as well. Possibly won't fat finger this one. We'll have to wait and see. But 97%. Soul Reaper tries to get on point to stop that one, and that is it.
Dragon doesn't count either. Yeah, Orisa Dive did a fantastic job of isolating targets and taking them down. That's what Wambulance was lacking. They had Earthshatter, Graviton Surge, Dragon Strike. They used those 2 giant tank ultimates, but there was no follow-up. I mean, what's the point in having these ultimates to use them if you're not going to follow them up? Deca laid down a fantastic Earthshatter, but there was no one else there. So really, Wambulance needs to pick up on their comms. I think if they're going to lay down... That's right.
And we also look like we're going to a bit of a pause here. Thos of, I think that is Orisa Dive, has just popped out to the shops, looking to probably go to Clark Rubber and pick up some fantastic deals. Must have heard me over the mic earlier. But yeah, again, like
that it was a joke. They've gone down. I've got my code. Like, oh, sorry. So
I'm not wearing any Clark Rubber accessories at the moment. I know you can't see that, so I can't validate that statement. But just believe me, they aren't sponsoring me. I had not having anything held to the back of my head. It's completely fine. But I guess going back to Decade, he got that lovely shatter in. There was a 3-man. Had basically a 6v3 fight, but then he was really the only one to go in, and that anti-grenade over on the side of Wambulance just completely eroded him, and that where he wanted to be swinging, he had to hold up the shield, almost got killed, and then from that point, Wambulance just sort of fell apart there. Orisa Dive were able to get the points back, and I guess Decade, he did get the 1 kill, but by that point it was already a 3v5, and the point was pretty much done.
I think one more swing of the hammer may have decided that fight a little differently. Decade, there's 2 squishies there, the Lucio and the Soldier 76. You know, one more swing of the hammer, maybe taking those 2 out of the fight would have made the difference, would have come back to maybe a 4v4, something that Wambulance could have worked with, given the rest of the ultimates they had, and particularly losing their Hanzo almost straight away. That's the Dragon Strike gone. Actually, that's probably hinting on another thing coming from Wambulance. A lot of ultimates invested when they didn't necessarily need them. At the very first fight, they took the point. Vitaki used the rally at the end of the fight. He didn't need that armor once he'd already secured the point. Again, after that second to last fight, well, really what happened to be the last fight was lost. The Graviton Surge went in late, and you can't just be throwing your ultimates away like that. It was a lost fight. Why are you throwing in a grav? And now I'm doing exactly what you said you didn't want to do, and I'm ragging on another team. So I'll stick with Orisa Dive. Fantastic work. They've perfected Orisa Dive, and now they're moving on to Winston Dive. You know, work your way up the rungs and the difficulty of the dives. Really good job. I'm hoping to see a lot more of that come out. And here, this is a good point. Nepal's Sanctum. So a good point for Dive. If you can get out of the way. Brawling comps might have a little bit of trouble. They can get isolated on the point, and you know, there's right for booping off if you're running that Lucio. Hopefully Ravani swaps back onto that.
And especially seeing Soul Reapers switched over to the Orisa and Decade over to the... Oh, well, sorry, Soul over to the Roadhog, Decade onto the Orisa, looking to try and use that canopy, or ridge, you would say, as they drop into the never-ending abyss to try and get some picks there. And Crockett, of course, he's on the Winston now. And it looks like Thos's computer is dying, according to K-Rocket, so we may be here for a bit longer than we intended. But as you can see from the view, well, from my view in particular, the statue Zens, absolutely beautiful. Designed perfectly. It's too bad Zen is just a useless character, but you know.
Oh, don't
Well,
say
that
that.
look,
He's there to make Winston's life miserable with that Discord orb. I say that's a lot of
mate,
value.
every time I dive with Zen, no one is with him, and it's always fantastic. Maybe I'm in just that lower rank that it doesn't matter. But yeah, and again, like looking over both sides, both Ravani and Viggo are going to be on the brig by the looks of things. Squidgy's going to stick to the Lucio, which again, so they've got 3 here ambulance that they could use, 3 heroes they use to just boop the teams off during the fight on the point. And I mean, if we see that, it's going to be fantastic. I would love to see just a 2 or 3 man just boop off from Lucio, or just a drag in from Orisa, or, you know, even just a hook off. Just, you got to love them.
Oh yeah, and Soul Rip. I mean, you can do that trade for trade, reaping a few souls here and there. You know, you get booped off yourself, you get run off the edge. That's fine. You know what? I'll just take you with me. Something that Orisa Dive will want to look out for. There you go. Thos has rejoined the game. We can get underway. We will. And as you mentioned, particularly for ambulance, Squidgy swapping over onto that Lucio. I might wanted to see that last time too. If you're playing that brawly comp, you've got the Ryan, the Zarya up front. Having that speed boost is such a boon. And particularly when you're playing against a dive, you need to be able to get your friendlies out of the way, get them out of dodge, so you can keep yourself alive.
Especially on Shrine, trying to get to that point early, because it is such a small control point, and there only are limited places to go. And it looks like we are going to be pushing in here.
Lucio.
The Lucio, oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Comes
Zen
in.
that I just gave shit to. That's what he's going to be going. And
Well,
it looks like Infinity's going to be picking up the Diva as well, as looks like it's going to be diving down on towards the back part of the left point for Wambulance. They're just all sort of grouped up, waiting for this control point to unlock. Looks like Orisa Dive, a bit more spread out. K-Rocket's going to be the first to dive in, trying to get some elegant. And J-Hole, it's going to be deleted. Squeege and didn't go down. Rocket gets crit, and it's already just about done this first fight. Skylar's trying to do what he can. He's getting antied. Affinity gets Skylar and Squidgy. J-Hole will finish off VTAKY 232, and that is the end of that one.
Well, look, Wambulance did the right thing. They've got that composition that wants to be in a small contained space. They dropped that into the room, took up position. Unfortunately for them, Orisa's dive was so good. We saw Crockett and Affinity go straight in. They softened up the front line, allowing J-Hole to get the picks over the top. As I say, that J-Hole's picked off Sky, getting one back.
Yeah, he's going to be the first one to get the pick there. Crit is going to go down there to K-Rocket. A nice ult there from the range of K-Rocket. Fight going on point. DCAT, well, it's sort of 2 points going on here, and they're actually going to be given the point back. And now it's coming in for the back. Well, Ambulance trying to keep them off, but that's a huge...
what a bio grenade!
And Crackett and Affinity are going to clean up Viggo, Deck, and Squidgy, and now it is just the Road and... well, I was going to say the Soldier, he's already gone. Squidgy might get out of his soul, he's not going to be able to, and the point is as quickly switched over as it was lost.
Great play by supports from both teams there. We saw Deca cop the Pulse Bomb, was able to get away from their own team, and Squidgy came in with the Coalescence to heal up that Orisa, but then the Bio Grenade was so good. Can't keep your Orisa alive if she's the color purple, and as a result, Orisa Dive able to get the point back, only giving away 10%.
Yeah, Ravani, that's another huge one. It's in the perfect position. He's actually not going to be able to get that one, and he is going to go down.
There's this.
Not with the anti-grenade, he might be able to get one. J-Hole tries to go in to get a trade. He's not going to be able to get it. Another nice anti-grenade, but at this point, looks like Orisa actually could go down. Sane is going to be the one going to go down. Crit, Foss is going to get crit back at least. Diva Bomb going off. That is going to pick off Dickat. And Affinity keeping this one in. Soul will get Ravani though. That should be the point taken back at least. K-Rocket's going to jump onto stall, but he is going to get absolutely deleted immediately. And that is going to be Wambulance taking that one back, 87 to 20%. J-Hole, is he going to be able to get out there in time?
Oh!
Well, Saiyan man just trying to pick it. Yeah, but Soul, he's going to take down J-Hole. And now they're going to have to wait for J-Hole to come back before they start this next fight.
Yeah, it was a great start. K-Rocket going a little too deep and got stunned, got taken out. And once that happened, Skya used that attack visor to force out the Transcendence. And unfortunately for Saiyan, the rest of Orisa Dive was too spread out to save everyone. We saw Krr pick up the two.
Toss with a huge grenade in the back onto Vicari. And that is a
the Deadeye as well.
Crit. Crockett will get Scova. Affinity takes down Decat, and it is just one remaining. Squidgy is going to get stunned out of the coalescence.
Oh, gee, might have wanted that just to get back into the point, but as it stands, 7% left on the clock. I don't think anyone's going to make it back. No, the Wraith form ain't going to save you, mate. You've still got to get to the point. Gets the Discord, gets taken out. Saiyan coming up big. Just be
basically
cleaned up as well.
Just a lonely Hammond spinning around Deckard in there for a few seconds, and now it is just going to be Squidgy sitting on point. They actually do manage to get Ravani, and Jail's going to fall off the map, but K-Rocket will finish that one off. The Tracer could
doesn't quite touch.
Quite.
No, Orisa Dive will secure Nepal, put themselves up 1-love in this series.
Yeah, and pretty much a solid performance from start to finish there from Orisa Dive, as we see a nice little play of the game here from J Hall, who really did do some great DPS damage. But this was the fight here.
Oh,
J Hall gets the 2
that
there immediately, and that just was fight over, and was the winning fight at the end, as that would also confirm the last point. And overall, I mean, Wambulance didn't do too badly in what was a fairly close game. Both points were thrown back and forth a couple of times, but I mean, in the end, Orisa Dive, just the anti-grenades from Ravani were fantastic. Like, they won them at least 2 or 3 fights there, at getting just huge hits on multiple members of Wambulance. It was fantastic to watch.
Yeah, particularly nailing that front line. Poor Deco is getting knocked around, absolutely brutalized by Orisa Dive. And you saw the counterpart main tank, K-Rocket, doing an amazing job on the Winston, leaping in, getting out. Yeah, it goes a bit deep every now and then, but you're not really a true Winston main if you don't feed every now and then. And I like that swap from Saiyan as well. Swapping on, you talked about it, the Zenyatta can be caught out a little bit, but if you play like Saiyan did, you don't leave yourself alone, you've got the rest of the team there supporting you. Zenyatta is such a powerful hero. That Discord Orb can melt tanks down.
I think, for me personally, seeing Orisa Dive not actually play Orisa for most of that map was actually probably the most disappointing thing to take from that. If you're going to call yourself Orisa Dive, you need to have yourself both a Winston and an Orisa, otherwise your name is obsolete, and I don't really know what the point of being here is. Like, you know, this is, we have a system in place where you need to follow rules and regulations, and Orisa Dive, that could lead them to be disqualified. I don't know. It's very interesting stuff, but it looks like we're going to be moving on to the next game, which is Kings Row. One of my personal favorites.
I think you're not alone in that, in that feeling towards Kings Row, Scrims Row, Goats Row, everything Row, and everything is currently going Orisa Dive's way. Maybe we'll see the Orisa on this map. You know, if they want to play Kings Row more traditionally with the more staticky, brawly compositions, it's an option here. Though for the side of Orisa Dive, I'm not sure whether they want to swap off at this point. They've clearly got Wambulance's number. You know, the Wambulance has already won maybe 2-0 through dialing. Play a bit more Winston, give them that last 0, and Bob's your uncle.
Well, it's be interesting to see what the hero compositions will be for this map. Of course, Wambulance is going to be starting off on the attacking side, and it looks like a Reinhardt and Zarya on both ends? Well, not quite.
I will ignore the attacking team until they roll out the door. Been burned too many times by this. But you're right, on the defense, we're seeing that classic Ryan Zari composition. It's Kings Row. Why wouldn't you run such a potent tank combination? Seeing a double hit scan, not something you see every day, particularly, maybe there's a gentleman's agreement between these teams. No May. I haven't seen May on the board yet, and you know, I'm not even going to question it. I love the fact there's no May. We're seeing double hit scan, the McCree, the Widow. You've got Moira and the Ana out there as well. This will be a lot of fun coming from Orisa Dive.
Well, Sky, I was about to say Sky's going to be careful because J-Hall is a Widow as well, and he is going to take them down almost immediately. So this first fight, again, you might even think of switching to a Winston on both sides to fill those Orisas, but as both teams sort of just wait for each other to come back up, Skyer now getting ready to go off again. And Jay will give it the first on the crit, and Jay is having a lot of fun there. Sky's going to want to try and get him down as soon as possible. As now it's going to be K-Rocket sort of pushing in there. But again, it's just sort of stalled team fight so far. And Zari almost going to get taken to J-Hall again onto Skyer. He is having all the fun in the world at the moment.
Yeah, they're very similar compositions from both teams. So at the moment, the difference makers, of course, J-Hole on that Widow, a superior DPS right now. It takes out KUP and Skyer again. But not only that, you've got the healing output from Orisa Dive will be a little high. You've got that more direct burst healing available. And if you're Skyer or even KUP and you're not finishing off your shots, they're just going to get healed up. So they need to be a little more decisive. On the bright side, they do have the amplification matrix built up. It doesn't provide any protection, but it will melt down the shield of Crockett if it comes to it. And oh no, Saiyan stuck on point as the Ana. Do they even know the Ana's there?
They don't, and Steve gets huge work there, Saiyan with the anti-grenade. Crockett Thos, and then Crockett again. Infinity's going to take down Soul Reaper. Ravani gets go, and that is a team kill wipe there. And Orisa Dive looking strong so far. And again, it's just the work of J-Hole on the moment as Widow has been pretty fantastic, but saying again on the Ana, just that anti-grenade in behind, they just had no idea.
Rocket's hiding behind for the Earthshatter, it's hiding in the hotel.
Oh,
there it is, it comes out, it's huge! Oh, follows up with 3 kills as well.
K-Rocket gets 3, Infinity gonna take down Crystal. J-Hole gets Skyer, Thos manages to get Soul Reaper, and wow, Ambulance just not having any luck at the moment, and it's going to be a change-up on their composition here. Durkat's going to stick on to the... Well, both tanks are going to stay the same, but it's going to be a Genji.
And the Ana coming out for Squidgy as well, looking for that Nano Blade to get the job done, and only a minute 30 left, they're going to have to build those up very quickly.
And again, well, the thing is here, the Widow of J-Hole, he's actually going to be in a bit of trouble here if he gets cornered by 2 of them. J-Hole trying to get away there. Sane is going to at least get Squidgy. VTech, but while they're trying to fight the Widow and what's going on there, the other boys go in to the left room and they are all going to get absolutely decimated. Infinity picks up 2. And the K-Rocket charging in. He's like, yeah, you know what, I'll take some more kills. VTech goes down, and it looks like it's just going to be Soul Reaper running back towards spawn, trying to regroup, and a minute 2 on the clock.
There is a bright note here for Ambulance. They have the ultimate advantage. They have the 2 tank ultimates, the Graviton Surge and the Earth Shatter. Right now, Orisa Dive doesn't really have anything to counter that. Maybe K-Rocket can lay down an Earth Shatter, but they have a moment here where they can go in. As long as they don't get someone picked off by J-Hole, they will have the advantage coming in. There you go. They're taking the high ground approach. They know this is their last attack. They're going to take as much time as they can to line it up. But really, they can't take too much time. J-Hole, as the infrared, K-Rocket hiding again. Does Ambulance even know? I don't think they do. No way they don't. They haven't seen K-Rocket. What are you doing?
No! Oh, the anti as well. They at least get the...
the Graviton Surge saves them. It stops any follow-up.
Deckard manages to get 1 at least. J-Hole will trade back onto crit. But Boss in the background, he's going to be taken down low at least, but he's actually going to be able to get Skyer. And now it's just a final fight. J-Hole gets Squidgy, Deckard manages to get Infinity, but he's going to get slipped. And now Thos gets Soul Reaper. It's all down to just Deckard, and he... Oh, actually gets the Shatter. He gets 2 Thos. Well,
he's not able to kill Saiyan. Oh, the healing is too much from Ravani. That is a full hold.
And Skyer trying to get to point at the end there also just gets slapped and anti, just for good measure. Because why not?
They almost did it. They were set up. They got out of K-Rocket behind them, earth-shattering, and thanks to that Graviton Surge from Soul Reaper just held off any follow-up. They're so close. But the reinforcements coming back from Orisa Dive made all the difference. They got back at the right moment, able to call out the right targets, especially... We saw, was it Saiyan on the Ana, I believe? Whoever got that sleep. Yeah, Deckard got slept, and I think that was the difference maker at the end there. The Ambulance would have carried it if Deckard had been able to, well, not been able to stay awake, had been awake. You know, no fault of theirs getting hit by a sleep dart. Oh, that was so close, but Orisa Dive, they're in a position to take out this match right here, right now. All they need to do is capture 33% of the first point, and they'll win.
It looks like the gentleman's agreement that may have been had before the match has definitely gone out the window now, because Skyer has just gone May. So things are about to get very interesting. And also, if you are just joining us, the zeros that are up on the scoreboard, that is, we are live. We just actually had a attempt to capture a point, but as you can see, Ambulance got 0, 0.0, and 0.0 And the percentage marks also have 2 little zeros in between them there. So not their best performance, but I'm sure they could actually hold this one for 4 minutes. We'll have to wait and see as we get into this one here. Orisa Dive immediately getting aggressive here. J-Hall holding up towards the top right as he looks down to see if he can get a quick pick. But they're holding back Wambulance. They don't really want to contest this one. They have the, I guess...
Oh, what a wall.
Oh, Soul gets K-Rocket. J-Hall's going to get Decat though. Squidgy will actually get the trade onto Ravani, and they actually hold a 4v6 or 4v5 advantage, but Thos will get Skyer. I actually don't know how that happened.
Went a little too wide at the mortality field.
And at this point, Affinity just sort of charging himself up there, and they have the spawn advantage. As it looks like K-Rocket's not really moving out of spawn there for some odd reason, but it looks like they're going to be hold off for the minute at least. Wambulance, Orisa Dive, and that would be why, because he DC'd. Yep. I thought that was weird, and yeah.
Probably just sitting there thinking, do I charge? Do I charge now? Do I charge later? Oh, so many decisions. Charging is just the most important part of the Reinhardt kit. You've got to make sure it's pinpoint precise. You don't want to do it at the wrong moment. Otherwise, you look like a low-level player.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I actually crit who is on the Symmetra. I just completely forgot what Symmetra's name was. I had a complete mental blank. I don't play that hero, and I despise her, so I don't want to learn that hero's name, but it's still a 4v4 on point. I guess 4v6 now as most of Wambulance have got back. K-Rocket has joined back in the server, I believe, so we should be not far from getting underway again.
I'll be interested to know where Kurt has set up. Sorry, Kurt has set up their teleporter, because that might be useful getting back to spawn if the teleporter's using there for the transfer respawns. I mean, it's a solid pick. You have to defend right here. You can't give any ground, so having that teleporter to get back may mean the difference between losing it out here or pulling a draw going to the next map.
That's what's going to go up there. J-Hall now popping his Widow ult as well, though, and their shields are getting really melted here on Wambulance, and all Thos trying to get something here. The two things have gone up to stop it. Saiyan, though, he's going to get Soul Reaper. Crit will get K-Rock, but Thos is going to trap into bigger. Dick, it's going to go down.
You got to be on the point.
It's a 3v5 situation. Affinity's going to get another one. Saiyan gets crit, and that is going to be all she wrote. Orisa Dive take the series 2-0.
Great job focusing the tanks. Oh, Wambulance down first, just crushed the defensive effort, even though the photon barrier was there, just not soon enough. So I believe Kurt had it built up quite quickly. So, you know, maybe a little regretful. You see, in the top corner there, you see, already had before the tanks went down. But you know what? It is what it is. You take the L, you move on, you live and learn, and you perhaps realize that running Orisa into a team called Orisa Dive, not the smartest idea. They know exactly how to play around that hero.
Yes, and of course, so Wambulance not able to get that one done there, but of course they do have a chance to at least get back. There is another game they will be playing later on. But again, Orisa Dive, and you just saw there on that replay from the play of the game there for Affinity, Ravani, and it was saying that time on the Ana, just the instant nades to knock them down and to anti everyone during those fights. It's just so huge. Soul went down and Decade was soon to follow, and as tanks you cannot afford to be anti, because if you get caught in those team fights you need to be able to swing your hammer and you need to be able to use every possible thing you can. And also it was very well worked there from Orisa Dive as they were taking down the shields pretty quickly, and just I guess the way that they managed to push them. Wambulance didn't want to fight most of that in the last bit there. They were really focused on just sort of tucking into the right, and that was a lot on J-Hall, just on the Widow. They were very scared of him, considering what happened when they went on attack. But overall, a very good game there from Orisa Dive, and they will take a break from this one. Looks like Boostio will be the next team to pop in. They will be up against Wambulance, who'll be looking to redeem themselves after that one. But overall, Orisa Dive just too good in the end.
Yep, and that's, I guess, the benefit of winning first off. You get a little break, and not only that, the team coming into place to face Wambulance now has a little bit of vision. They've an idea of what Wambulance wants to run, how they run it. You know, you've got a bit of advice. You've seen them run King's Row. You maybe suspect what they're going to run on defense. Do you choose that if you lose the first map? Who knows? We will find out soon enough as Boostio joins.
Just one more plan to go, and that will be Silver, who is in now. So for Ambulance there, I guess to take into this next map, they really need to focus on, I guess, singling out a target a bit more. They were fine with the group ups. I thought they actually did that quite well, but they need to check their surroundings. There was 2 times where K-Rocket got a shatter in where it was just not checked at all. And I guess just keeping the shields up for the anti-grenades, but that's a lot harder than it actually sounds.
And if you've got an enemy Ana in your backline, you cannot let her live. She just ran through the point. I mean, oh, that's hard to watch, but you know what? You live and learn. You've seen it happen. Okay, we're gonna get caught out. We've been caught out multiple times now by flanking Ryans. You learn about it. Hopefully, I'm kind of hoping Boostio sees that tactic, tries the same thing, and gets absolutely punished for it. I want to see Ambulance learn from their mistakes. Yeah, the teams will load into Nepal again. Starting then, I guess to introduce the teams, Boostio is Nuclear, not spelled the normal way, but whatever. Priv, Kookaburra, haha, I like that. Depression, King of Penguin, and Silver. Of course, Ambulance sticking with Squidgy, Soul Reaper, Vitaki, 232, Skyer, Decatessera, I should have asked about that, and Kurt.
Yes, as both teams. We are, of course, here on the one map we didn't play, which I don't remember the name of because I am useless at remembering facts like that.
Nepal Village.
That's the one. And it looks like both teams going to be picking up their stuff here. Of course, they've got 25 seconds, so seeing what they have now is probably not what they're actually going to have going into the first thing. But I would imagine that Ambulance will probably keep most of what they had, at least on the healer-wise of things. But, I mean, really, they might just look to full switch it up and just try something else, because clearly it didn't work too well against Orisa Dive, but maybe they can get something going here against Boostio. And Boostio, of course, they actually do have a Lucio, Kookaburra, and Vitaki is also going to pick up the Lucio of his own. Going to be
a nice change from the first control map last time. They didn't have the Lucio coming out from Ambulance. They're going to get to point a lot faster, and both teams have taken different approaches. Ambulance, the telly to get on the point. Sneaky.
Well, that does mean
had the high ground, but didn't matter.
Yep. And Soul Reaper, the Symmetra turrets, of course, keeping them pretty safe in there before that Boostio can actually charge in. Soul Reaper's going to be taken down pretty low, but he's been kept healed up by his guys on point. Silver is actually going to get taken down as well. He's going to get the backline though. He's going to take down Skyer. That's the DPS gone. Crit will manage to get Silver, but King Penguin and Priv get the trades back, and now it's a 3v5 situation, and it looks like they will be able to take this one at least here, Boostio. They're still trying to keep this one going, but the anti-grenade, at least on the Bukaki, is going to... They're just really fighting this out. Kookaburra will finally get Decat, Nuclear will get Vitaki, Squidgy will go down to Priv, and the fight went, well, a lot longer than it should have, and Ambulance actually took the point at the start bit there, so at least they get the 21%.
Yeah, that was great play by Ambulance. They took position on the point. Yeah, they lost the fight, but they came away with 20%. That's 20% that Boostio didn't have. Oh, Squidgy, great start, takes Priv out straight away.
Hunter what's going to keep them back, but Vitaki Silver and Nuclear go down. King Penguin will at least get the trade back on him, but now it's a close fight on point, and they're going to try and pick this one up at least here.
Oh, the bio grenade!
Kookaburra gets
Soul gets hit, gets healed up.
King Penguin gets taken down, and they actually will be able to switch that one over Ambulance, and only 33% there towards Boostio. And they look like to regroup and come on again.
I like the swap to see A, running the Lucio, and B, Soul Reaper and Deca have swapped over now, the Zarya and Reinhardt. Hopefully they'll have a little bit more luck with this combination, and we saw at the start of that last fight, Squidgy spotted out Priv. Again, in the very first fight, we saw the Doomfist get in behind, surprise them, get over, then now look at Soul Reaper's learned from K-Rocket. It's going to come over the ocean, and there it is, lays it down. Gets stunned out of charge.
No! Silver, and then Priv gets 3 with his ult. Nuclear gets 1. And I was about to say before that started, was that Boostio had 5 ults, and they used 4 of them there. King Penguin is the only one who has 1 left, but what a absolute destruction there. I guess Silver
Ambulance had it. They had their shuttle, the tanks were down. Oh,
they just couldn't follow up. if Kookaburra with the save with the ult there is the fight, they immediately get back on point here. Ambulance.
Oh no! Okay.
Shots from above. Squidgy at least will be able to get there. Two there now. Silver and Kookaburra. But that's huge from Nuclear.
Wow.
And King Penguin, the anti-grenade, the Zarya, the dragon, everything goes together there. And even though they had that fight, would look like in the bag of Ambulance, they can't quite pull it out. They will manage to get back to point pretty quickly again using the Symmetra ults as Priv getting a few hits in the back line as they prepare to go for this next one.
If there's a hero Wambulance wants deleted from this game, it is not Mei, it is not Doomfist, it is not Reaper, it is Ana right now. Those fire grenades are doing so much work against them. They go again, Kurt taken out from a direct hit, and the Photon Barrier doesn't save anybody.
And that started from the depression, getting that sleep onto Squidgy in the back line. Immediately then was taken out by Nuclear. It was a 5v6 the moment the fight started, and it ended just as quickly as it had. And that is going to be Boostio picking up the first one as some nice chat is chatted between the teams there as they are agreeing that at least one hero needs to be banned. I couldn't think of which one, honestly.
Oh, jeez. Well, we'll see if Wambulance can bring it back. They've had practice on this map. We're going to Sanctum now. Didn't quite work. Look, it worked out for them better against Orisa Dive. They got quite a bit of percentage. Hopefully, yeah, they're sticking in more meta this time. You know what? Practice, 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 and they're picking up the Hanzo as well. I like this option.
Yeah, they fared quite well on the control point in the first game against Orisa Dive. Now they're coming back again here to Shrine to see if they can take this one. They're going to be pushing around right to the right here. And it's going to be a fight for the bridge there. Oh, an immediate sleep on Soul Breaker. He's going to wake up though. And Suai's in the back. He's going to get at least Kookaburra. Priv is going to get Skyer though as the trade comes in. It's a 5v5 situation. Point is unlocked and it looks like
Boostio's lost their speed.
Oh, Silver's in there.
Oh no, the hook doesn't quite go off.
No, it does not.
Take it off in turn with the Reinhardt.
And it looks like that is going to be flipped over, or taken at least there, by what's
Yeah.
Squidgy just having a bit of fun there with Kookaburra after a nice little sleep or stand there he was having there. But yeah, so Wambulance, they used that fight pretty well.
They did. Once they saw the Lucio was gone, they know there's no Lucio on the field. We've got the advantage. The Boostio can't speed away. They took advantage of that. Boostio perhaps maybe wanted to stay back a little bit, not go right up into Wambulance's face, but that is that. Now Squidgy gets the first kill. Priv somehow so far ahead on that Widowmaker.
Oh, Soul Reaper with a lovely shatter, and that is going to be followed up by Sky onto Nuclear. Kookaburra will actually be able to take Soul, but Squidgy's going to get Kookaburra. They have got this fight won. Trying to be a bit aggressive here.
We're going to get out.
Squidgy needs to be careful here. They could get picked off if they're not careful.
Picking Penguin.
They actually managed to get out as well. So that is a fantastic win there from Ambulance, who are just ticking over to 50% as their teammates are getting grind back now as Soul Reaper and also Crit get back here.
Only the pulse bomb on the board for either team. I take that back. The Nano Boost is there now. Both teams very, I was going to say very close to their Silver. You're not going to be generating much if you're dead like that. There's the Earth. The whole hog does take Soul Reaper out of the fight.
Penguin, we get two,
okay. Yeah. Very aggressive.
The thing was there, I think it was Depression and also, it must have been Priv. Oh, Kookaburra, they went to the right expecting sort of to get through on the left, and immediately they lost Silver.
Any follow-up? Oh, there's the dragon! The sound barrier though. Kookaburra keeping his team alive.
And the sound barrier back from Crit against Depression. Nuclear is going to be picking up Crit though, and he's also going to be picking up Squidgy, and now they have a chance to try and flip this point over. Silver pushing onto point there, and it's just going to be, looks like Soul Reaper left 1v6, and well, Sky thought, you know what, I might try and jump in the backline there, but Priv is having nothing to get, gets the flashbang, gets the headshot, and they're going to get that one. just
Yeah.
on 6% now. And
That was a great rotation that came out while the rest of the team was caught in the grab. Kookaburra and Nuclear were flanking around to the right-hand side of where Wambulance are sitting, and there's no shield available, so Nuclear was able to pump those arrows in, take 3 out of the fight, and that's what flipped the point for them. So coming in now, Silver still has the Earthshatter hiding out, waiting. How did they even pick the Wambulance to be coming through there? I don't know. But there you go, there's the Earthshatter blocked.
And Squidgy is going to be picking up Silver. Sky will get the pressure. Nuclear is going to get Penguin. Managed to get Soul Reaper released, but Decractor is going to get King Penguin. They're chasing him out to the side bit here. And Priv uses his ultimate. I am not sure why. Possibly because it is about to be flipped to 100% here, so he's trying for something crazy.
Oh no, Silver
gets just going to be jump on.
Point.
Yeah, Silver is not even going to get there.
That was so well played by Wambulance. They had the positioning. When they had the ultimates, they used them so well. Yeah, you lost one fight, but they came back with 3 ultimates, able to clean up that last fight almost instantly. Such a great improvement from this team. I reckon they've got a great chance of taking it out here.
They definitely do. It was their ability just to keep Boostio stuck in that small room as they were coming out from spawn. They just were not allowing them to actually get through, and when they did, it was most of them were just getting caught, either dying. One on the left, 2 would go out to the right, usually one of the healers. They would then have to try and get back, even though they'd get caught off as the others push through from Wambulance. And well, now they have a first point, and they have a serious chance of taking this map out as we move on to the last one here.
No Lucio from either team. The Pharmacy in the sky this time from Boostio, hoping to make a little more difference. And on Shrine, that's a good play as well. Farah has lots of sightlines she can use to fire into the point. And a good counter to Skyra as well, who's been doing a really good job on this Tracer. I've liked the swap coming out. Oh, the kills straight away, going the way of Wambulance. Nuclear out of the sky as well. It's a great start for them.
Yeah, that's just a pretty easy fight there for Wambulance. Only 1 kill there onto the side of Boostio, and Kookaburra was trying to get that revive to try and keep the fight going, and it was a brilliant shield bash there from VTAC to manage to keep them from getting that one. And pretty easy fight, and well, 12% building. They have the confidence here, Wambulance, and Boostio need to try something different here, because it's certainly what they're doing at the moment is not working.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how well this combination of Farah McCree works, especially with McCree out of the fight right now. He does force the res out, because usually you use... Oh, that's a nice Earthshatter actually. Lays down Soul Reaper. Is there any follow-up coming through? Yeah, onto the healers. Nuclear finishing them both off. Skya getting the Pulse Bomb to Priv. Maybe too little too late. As I say that, though, Silver charge out of the fight. Soul Reaper somehow got away with their life. They're still on a B-stick of health right now, waiting for the supports to come online. There's the Coalescence to Squidgy, keeping the tank alive. Wambulance forces Boostio back yet again.
And it looked like Nuclear had got the picks there for Boostio to push and point and get that one. I think Silver fought that, but then he gets charged off to the corner and Soul Reaper, and he's just got no healing at that point. And then some brilliant shots there from VTAC, managed to bring down the Farah low, also picking off Kookaburra on the Mercy as we start what could be one of the last fights here.
Oh, Justice Rain from the side there. Another nice Earthshatter coming from Soul Reaper, trying to counter back the balance of this fight, but it's all blue in the kill feed. Boostio doing what they need. The Valkyrie finally wears off, and the damage is done.
Yeah, they're going to be pushing in on point here now. Boostio 1v6 for this situation, pretty much. VTAC goes down. Squidgy, they're still going to be able to fight this one at least for a little while. Skya stalling out as long as possible. They get to 88%. As Priv also pushing in, seeing if he can get a bit more of an ultimate charge. As they're going to be waiting to get up here. Wambulance still waiting for their Tracer over there on Skya, but they are almost ready to go. And now Boostio, they have the problem here. They can't really afford to lose the next team fight. If they do, only 12% needed here from Wambulance, and they're going to be pushing in with that Brig ultimate.
Keep going.
As we look to keep finding this one here. It's going to be Crit who's going to get Nuclear out there. Silver misses the charge there. He's going to get stunned up as well. Kookaburra is going to go down. Now the Pharaoh Mercy combo's gone.
Oh, Squidgy!
Well, that is what you love there. The Decker on the Zarya gets them all together. Squidgy presses Q and they all disappear into the void. And now 6:97 and it's counting down to see if they can keep this one going. It looks like there's going to be a try.
Oh, no one's there to touch. Wow,
and Wambulance get their first one there.
What a change from Wambulance. They change up their comp, run something a little more standard, a little bit what they got beaten by, and look how effective it is. They go from it's essentially losing what, two maps on Nepal, one on Kings Row, the first round on Nepal. So that's four maps in a row they lost, and they turned it around. That last one, 100-0. That is such good play from them. Oh, I'm so pleased with the progress they made, particularly swapping that tank line around. It looks like Soul Reaper and Deca have finally found the heroes they're comfortable on. Having Sky running that Tracer as well is so good. Getting in the backline, harassing everyone of Boostio, and also being able to finish off any kills that come through from Kurt. You know, gets a sneaky headshot in, gets a couple of body shots. They're low, you call it out. Sky can hunt them down, and it's doing so well. Boostio now will get to choose where to go. We'll see if they choose to stick with Kings Row. You know, now you're a little bit afraid. You think, oh, Wambulance doesn't know how to play Kings Row, but maybe they do. Maybe they will just sandbag them for the first map, and first match. And they're looking to go undefeated the rest of tonight. Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, on the side of Boostio, they actually had a really good start there on the Pole Village. Nuclear was doing really well in that Hanzo, getting some great picks and really just winning a lot of those fights early on. But after that, they just sort of fell off in the second and third ones where well, first off, they weren't really able to get through, and it was the same on both ends. The first sort of point entrance, they had real trouble getting through there. They sort of got a few early picks there on some of the fights, but Wambulance were able to respond quite well. Because each time you thought Boostio were probably going to win the fight, and they looked like they actually deserved to, it was just flipped around almost entirely. So they'll be looking to see if they can sort of work on that one. I don't think they'd be too disappointed. That was Wambulance's map pick, so getting at least a map there and what looked like they could have actually won the series, they'll take that as a moral victory per se, as we still wait on what the next map will be. But
look, it's a serious decision they have to make. You've got the entire map pool except control available to you, and if you've just lost control, you probably don't want to go back to it. I know people whispering in my ear Kings Row, but I mean, you know, do we want to play the same match twice in a row? I wouldn't mind seeing something different. Okay, it is going Kings Row, you're right. I'll stop trying to fight the inevitable.
You can't fight the power. That's what they want.
Much like Destiny, Kings Row always arrives at some point in an Overwatch match where you're allowed to pick your game mode and map. Teams will be swapping sides. We're seeing Wambulance starting on the defense first, Boostio on the attack.
And yes, well, Wambulance will be looking to I think they'll be hoping to do slightly better than what happened on the first time we were on this map, as we have already gone into a pause and we haven't actually started the game yet, so that is fantastic. But it looks like, at least for Wambulance's side of things, they probably would like being on defense for this one. Just to start off, they held Orisa dive for a fair while on that defense back on the first one they did, but whether or not they can do it on this side remains to be seen. They have, I think, improved definitely with their team cohesion after the first. They've definitely gelled together. They've had their team chat after that devastating first loss, and I think they'll be ready to go. And I wouldn't be surprised if they could switch it around here and be the ones to full hold on this first spawn in Kings Row.
Yeah, I mean, look, sometimes I find the rest of Kings Row a bit overrated. You don't need to take that car through the streets. Just play the whole map on A. Pretend it's a... Ooh, maybe you could pretend it's a control point map. I mean, maybe that's what you need. People... There are a small amount of people out there who like playing control. Weirdos. Maybe just make a control map that's just point A of Kings Row.
Yes, there's nothing I love more than standing on one point, swinging around and hoping you just hit someone. You just don't get much more fun than that.
Yeah, the other team come through, sweeps through, and go, well, if bloody hell was I standing there? I should have just been standing on B.
You know what the best thing is? You get to 99 to 0%, and then, of course, they get the point just at the very end, and they don't lose the point from there. You got to love those situations. It's really good, because they have 4 ults and you have 5, and because they have that extra ult, they kill all of you. That's why we love Overwatch.
That's why you run Sombra. At least you get that little bit of detail on who has ults. You know, the other team has 6 ults. I just press Q. They still have 6 ults.
Yeah, and it looks like Wambulance is going to be setting up here with the Zarya and Rhyme, which seems to be a crowd favourite so far. Brig and also McCree again on crit. Priv is going to be picking up the Widow over on the side of Wambulance. And, well, last time Priv was on the Widow, it didn't really go too well, but he doesn't have one to deal with here. As we get underway, Silver is going to be bringing his lads out the front gate.
Kurt trying to take the 1v1 against the Widow, thanks to that shield from Soul Reaper. No such luck, though.
And Wambulance are just going through really quickly here around the back right at least. And a big anti-grenade, but Soul Reaper is going to be the first to go down as well. Sky will manage to get Priv, and Nuclear is going to get crit. And now they actually have a real chance to take this one out. The immediate push on the right really sort of just caught the booster off guard. The cannon, Sky is going to go down. And now it's just Squidgy, and also looks like VTAC going to be left up on the point. Soul is going to try and get back in at least, and it's going to be Squidgy. He's been pushed all the way back to the right. He's just want to, I mean, get out of there at least. I don't think they're going to be able to squill this one. Silver is going to go all the way back there to get Soul Reaper. Squidgy has managed to get out at least, but then Sky will pick up Priv. But in the end, what a quick one there from Ambulance. They didn't get 0-0-0'd on that one. They've definitely learned from their mistakes, and they've pushed Boostio all the way back, and Silver's...
their teams have swapped sides, by the way. Boostio is on the attack.
Oh, well...
It is Wambulance on the defense.
Everything I just said was completely irrelevant. Wambulance are still shit.
They're one up in this series. You know what? They're giving Boostio a bit of room to breathe. They know how it feels to go down 2-0. They want to give Boostio a chance. A chance is what they're getting right now as they tear through Nuclear. Oh, the Nano Doomfist. The Earth Shatter is out as well. Oh dear.
Well, there's one thing
Someone
about
call the
at least
ambulance.
seeing a Doomfist, but a Nano Doomfist is just something from hell itself. And well, I mean, so far, Wambulance not exactly enjoying themselves on defense here, but they have time to try and pull this one back. Skyer and Crit. Crit has his ult. Sky's almost got his. Soul Reaper close to as well, but again, it's just the damage. But the thing is, over on the side of Boostio, they already have up, and Soul Reaper is just getting destroyed. He managed to get it
denied out of the Earth Shatter! And there comes the Doomfist as well. Wow, look at Nuclear though, picking up 3 in the middle of that Graviton
They haven't
surge.
seen Squidgy yet. It was just sort of hiding on point. Now they sort of have, and now Squidgy's in a fair bit of trouble. Kingpin was going to take them down. Stalled for a few seconds there, so that was probably worth it.
That's 10 seconds they didn't have, and right now they need everything they can get their hands on. Soul Reaper denied out of the Earth Shadow by the Graviton Surge. It's got to hurt.
Well, like, he cannot drop his shield for a second. He's just getting instant deleted. Crit at least is going to get Nuclear there, so they've got a 5v6 advantage for this fight, it seems. Both teams are fairly back from each other now. Now they're looking to try and move in here, Wambulance. The Zarish bubble goes up onto Soul Reaper, but it's going to be pulled back immediately. Gets the shield. He's just pushing them back. Wambulance
overload.
It looks like Boostio don't really want to get in with that one. Oh, just wow! No, boost. Silver gets a huge Earth Shatter. It's going to be followed up everywhere. VTAC's also going to get knocked off the map because why not? And now when it's just Sky left in the backline, he's going to be taken down. And well, the good thing here for at least Wambulance is they will have their 3 ultimates, Brig, and so they've got 2 support ultimates and the McCree. But the charge in immediately there, and they're just trying to fight this one on point. Squidgy will get Nuclear, so that's a good start for them. And that is going to be the fight.
Nice little play on the side there. We saw Priv waiting for the Deadeye to end just to try and move in on Crit. Crit saw it coming. Got the flashbang out, able to pick out Priv while the rest of the team got the job done on the point. That's an important stabilization there for Wambulance. They can't, so close to 4 minutes left. The only positive for them in this scenario is, well, 2 positives. They have the Graviton Surge, they held onto the Coalescence, and given the cart, it's going to take a while for Boostio to run back.
Yeah, but Wambulance have already given out a free kill there. And Soul drops his shield there. Time to drop that one, buddy. And now Nuclear's picked up 2. And now it is all downhill here for looks like Wambulance. Fighting on point as best they can. The Doom is going to come in. Crit is going to be taken down by Priv. Squidgy at least gets one to the depression, but they're just falling like flies. Soul manages to actually get 2 there, but they aren't able to follow up. Soul is going to be taken down. Jagged's going to get down as well, so the Hanzo on Priv. And that is a pretty big romp there. And it looks like Boostio are going to have 323 after getting all 3 points as well. So now Wambulance, well, I
What a
thought
time
they were the
bank.
ones dominating for a while there until I was informed by my co-caster that I am in fact blind. But yeah, now they all, well, at least they can do here is get a tick on the first point, because they didn't get that last time. So if they can get it here, I think they'd be pretty happy with that one. And it looks like
Yeah, and
Silver
even
is calling for a pause on the side here, and yep, it's been brought in. So we get to sit back and sort of just soak in what just happened there. And I mean, Boostio from them, their side of things, absolutely fantastic.
indeed they were, and they had the right combinations of ultimates available at the right time. Whoa, we saw the Earth Shatters coming out was so good, and Priv as well, getting in the backline being so annoying. So Silver was the one with the amazing Earth Shatters. Great work by the Ana as well, getting the nano boost on that Ryan, you know, and on the Zarya at particular times when it made sense to have it on each of the tanks, and allow them A to push forward and do a lot of damage, but B, it meant those tanks are building out their ultimates so fast they had at least one tank ultimate for every fight, and that's what made the difference. Wambulance, because they were losing fights, taking longer to build up their ultimates. I believe, taking so long to build their ultimates, they weren't really able to turn the tide until that one fight in Point C when they had the ultimate advantage. But aside from that, it was all Boostio. The one thing we didn't see from Boostio was a Boostio itself. Hopefully, we see that here on their own defense.
You always love to see it. I feel like for Soul Reaper and definitely DCAT, they're the two tank mains over on Wambulance. It was very hard for them to, especially Soul Reaper. He was trying to keep his shield up as much as possible, and basically any time he dropped it, he was just in immediate trouble. It was just the amount of stuff being thrown at him. The sleep darts, the anti-grenades. He dropped his shield when McCree nuclear out of the ultimate. Yeah, probably wouldn't want to see that one again.
I think Soul Reaper the Graviton Surge was right there. The two tanks are there thinking, please, can I have some ultimate charge? Drops the shield, bang! Nuclear takes 2 out of the fight. I mean, it's hard being a tank on the best of days, but sometimes when your team is getting rolled over the way Boostio was rolling over Ambulance, it's just, please let me swing, let me do something useful.
And Skyer is looking towards depression here. Is the Ana? She's sitting up top. I think she might have jumped down now. She was a bit interested there for a second. Skyer is also not moving at the moment. Now he's back. And it's Wambulance going to be pushing in.
Avoiding those arrows coming in from Priv. Yeah. Sky's life is going to be very difficult right now, facing off against both the McCree and the Hanzo. Of course, we're having the general range advantage. I mean, against 2 other heroes that can take the 1v1 at long range, and Priv opening up there onto Vitaki.
And again, so VTAC falls almost immediately there, and then Sol and DCAT go down. Skyer is going to fall as well, and Crit is going to go with them. It looks like Squidgy will be able to get out of that one at least, but again, Wambulance, they really struggled last time on this map. So far,
it's an Aussie on the field. Skyer is now onto the Junkrat.
Oh, you love to see it, especially into a Zarya. And I mean, I don't think King Penguin was getting enough charge as it was, so should be very interesting. They're going to boost it, they go very fast. Soul is actually going to pick up Silver. Nuclear will be able to get a trade onto Soul.
King Penguin down as well.
Oh, this is good. Skyer gets cocked. Priv is going to take down Sky. Crit gets 2 there onto Priv and Nuclear, and they actually have the point there. Wambulance, they might actually be getting the first point, which we love to see.
It doesn't matter. They've won the map. They've got the tick. Nothing else matters right now. The moral victory is theirs. They will take the first point.
That just all came in from VTAC. Went, all right, we're going to actually just go straight in as quickly as possible. And Soul Reaper got a lovely Fire Strike, immediately kill, made it the 5v5. And the moment they lose Silver there, the tank is just the shield from at least the Reinhardt there. It's just so important for so many reasons. They lose that, and it's just downhill from there. As this fight sort of just staying around the corner here.
Coming online, Soul Reaper needs to stay alive to use his Earth Shatter. Gets knocked down. Oh, so low, but the orb is there from the Mora. Oh, the Dragon comes through on the cart, definitely avoided. Soul Reaper uses the Earth Shatter. Oh, the follow-up is there, even though Soul Reaper gave to life. King Penguin taken down. What a great fight coming out from Wambulance. Look at what they've got still in their pocket. They've still got 3 ultimates left.
And VTAC is trying to follow up here onto the running away there from Depression and Priv, who are just trying to stay alive. And they will actually manage to get away there. The card has almost moved towards the end of this second point. Both teams trying to build up these ultimates.
Can Deca eat the Graviton Surge if it comes out? Not if you're lying down.
And Depression goes down as well. That's a huge ultimate gone. Squidgy will manage to get rid of Silver, and Descartes going to get King Penguin. Kookaburra, he's going to get Sky, but that is really all she wrote for that second push there at least. And they're doing pretty much as well as what Boostio did on that first one here.
They're probably only 30 seconds behind time bank wise. They did burn most of their ultimates to get in, but and if you're going to count the point as emphatically as that, you might as well. You've got plenty of time to build up more ultimates of your own. Just need to make sure you're burning them out of the defending team as the Nano Boost is on to Silver.
Yes, and he's not going to get much done, and VTech is going to bring an ultimate of himself. And now the ultimate from Nuclear. Oh, VTech, that's a big kill there. That's all he needed. Just needs to get rid of one of the healers. I think he waited just before Sound Barrier had gone. Sky will get King Penguin, but Nuclear is going to get Sky, and that is a one fight there. For Boostio, Ambulance are just going to hold around the corner. Soul's almost got his ult. He does have it now. And Squidgy and Crit have theirs as well. Looks like
King Penguin still has that same Graviton Surge. A little wary of Deca on this Diva.
And
it's a real, hopefully it pays off for them.
Cookie used his ultimate pretty early there with the Creation Atrix. Oh, the Maywall goes up. That's fantastic. Crit. Waiting for it to fall. And
the counter shadow from Silver.
Sky gets Silver.
Oh, the shadow from Silver wasted, just a little too slow on the trigger. Saw the rest of their team get cut down.
And Silver had his shield up. He was waiting for that McCree ult. He must have thought it was finished. Nuclear will get crit though. And Cookie Bar will get
Surge.
Soul Reaper will manage to charge away Nuclear, but they look like they might be able to hold this point for at least just a little bit longer. Soul Reaper swinging there with Squidgy. Squidgy
getting away.
Is just going to fall right off the point. Soul's going to get taken down by King Penguin.
I think Deca may be a little slow there on the defense matrix. You kind of got to know where King Penguin is coming out of the spawn room there. The entire team is coming out. The moment you see that, you've got to be ready with that defense matrix, and that Graviton Surge is what turned the fight and trapped 2 in and allowed enough kills to come through from Boostio to stabilize. Again, 3 minutes on the clock. Ambulance. Oh, the Earth Shadow.
Oh, that's a big Earth Shadow. Depression is going to try and keep his teammates alive in the back. Soul Reaper will get Cookie Bar at least. The ult goes up from Nico again. He's getting so many Deadeyes. VTech taking that again. King Penguin's going to take down Soul, but Crit and Squidgy get trades back. Nuclear again with another kill on the Squidgy here. They are going to be able to keep the tire. The tire will get Silver.
The numbers with the attacking team right now. The defenses. Okay, the defenders are on the point at least, and there's not enough. Yeah, not enough big bodies or healing available on the point.
And Priv, Priv landed right in the trap from the junk. Oh no. Oh, there would be a few words being exchanged in the voice chat, I'd imagine there. Something about please delete junk off the face of the earth. And Squidgy's going to pop his ult as they push in now. The ult from Crit, he's going to get Priv again, who's just walked out of spawn. Squidgy's going to get Depression, and now they're being pushed out towards the right, and it's just giving free reign for Sky to shoot down onto point. VTech gets Nuclear, Decat gets King Penguin, Silver's going to go down. The ult now from the Diva Bomb is going to get also Cookie Bar. Priv manages to dump back in with his Lucio, and he's actually going to get VTech. Crit is going to take him down at least, but they have lost a healer. They do have a chance. Squidgy, we got Depression, and now it's going to be Soul Reaper. He missed his Shatter, and now the Zarya ult is going to keep them all locked in. Their Crit is so good. They will not die at the moment, Ambulance. They want this point, but Boostio do not want to give it up. Priv dying again as he jumps in. Soul Reaper swinging around, flailing. Squidgy gets another rolled up. VCAT manages to get King Penguin. Soul Reaper gets Depression, and now it is just going to be left to see if he can. No, Nuclear can't get anything done there. Jumps on point, gets Soul Reaper. Sky's going to get Nuclear. Priv gets Dagger. Priv jumps away. And that is going to be the end of that. And when I say jump away, I mean he gets killed and flies 200 feet in the air.
Wow, the healing was so good from both teams. You saw in that Graviton Surge, multiple members of Ambulance caught up there. That was the moment that Boostio needed. They almost cleaned up the attackers, but Squidgy was there alone, the sole support. pumping out the heals on that Moira, built up another coalescence. There was probably two and a half coalescences in that fight just from that one Moira. Oh, such great support play. They get the job done. Boostio, to their credit, wasted maybe 2 minutes. So probably more closer to 1.5 minutes off the time bank. And that may be what the difference is here is, of course, when you're attacking this point, 2 minutes is roughly about the amount of time you want to build up your ultimates. With only minute 13 left on the clock for Ambulance, they're going to have to get it done potentially without ultimates. Maybe Squidgy will get the coalescence if they stick on the Moira. But Boostio is in a good position here to at least put up a solid defensive effort and give themselves a crack at taking out the map on their own attack.
Yeah, and you just look at the side of things, both teams actually had about 5 minutes on the clock when they finished that second point. So Boostio would be pretty happy that they managed to stall for basically what was almost 4 minutes there. As Crit is going to be going on to the Widow here as we get ready to start this, what could be the final fight of this. It's definitely the final fight of this map, at least for the attacking side of things for Wambulance, as they're pushing in here.
The defensive May come out again, of course. When in doubt, go May. When in doubt, May it out. In Kookaburra, I like the Mercy pick as well. You get the Resurrection, just a little extra survivability for your team. Survivability is not exactly what they need right now.
They are actually managed to get the picks here, and Cookie goes in the revive. He dies. Decker gets 2 there. Oh, Cookie, why would you go for the revive there? Oh, dearie me.
Oh, they felt like they had to go for it. 30 seconds, you're going to get overwhelmed by the attacking respawns. You got to get it out, but the protection was not there for the Mercy, and they've just handed over the point to Ambulance. They're getting a start, and you know what? It might not be the final fight for Ambulance. They could finish the whole map in overtime.
Nuclear is going to get a quick pick there on the Sky. That does help a lot. 15 seconds on the clock, so they can't afford to really lose a lot of players here. They need to move this cart. They can't really get off it, and it is allowing here for at least Boostio to get set up close so they can get in and try. But Nuclear is the only one with an ult here. It is a good one,
has
though.
One too.
That'll freeze them all if they get it right. And it goes down now, and that's a lot of frozen players on the side of Ambulance. Soul's going to go down, Skyer, VTAC, they're all falling down, and that could be the last fight here. DCat's going to be taking out a mech, Crib's going to dive on the Crit, Squidgy gets taken down by Silver, and now it's just the Baby Diva. Silver gets them, and that is going to be all she wrote. They at least get a point there, Ambulance, and they managed to move the card to the underlying bit, but they've still got a fair bit of work to do to hold this one.
You would be ecstatic as Wambulance right now. You not only captured the point, you at least pushed it to the choke. So you have 2 options. You have 2 places now you can defend. You can either stop them getting the point in the first place, or you just stop them getting through the gate. You just spawn camp them here, old selfless style. So 2 really clear win conditions for Wambulance where they can take this map and seal out the match right now. And of course, even if you don't make it, you put up a valiant effort and Boostio takes the map. You just go to a 3rd map, which is your map choice.
Yeah, Boostio be feeling still pretty comfortable. They've got 3.5 minutes on the clock, so they just need to get this first point done and move the cart under the bridge there. It only takes 1 fight, but on the other side of things, if Wambulance can hold and win a couple of fights here, that just puts enormous pressure onto Boostio. They really are basically favourites at this point to take this out. 3.5 minutes, it should be done, but I've seen stranger things happen, and Wambulance, I mean, after what we saw in the first map, I would say that Boostio should be winning this one, but, I mean, they've come into this series, they've looked a whole lot better, and you know what? They probably could hold this if they play their cards correctly.
Indeed, they could. Skyer preparing for that rotation through the Alderworth Hotel. Most of Wambulance sitting there, got the trap in there as well. Hopefully, Boostio is wary that there might be a Junkrat in the field. They've seen it for the last map and a half. Not going to be a total surprise to them. I've enjoyed seeing how flexible Skyer is as well.
Nuclear, and that's going to have Soul Reaper trapped.
No.
Silver's going to get one. Skyer is at least going to be able to trap back on Tree, but they've already lost the shield. Nuclear's going to get pushed off as well. Nuclear's going to... So it is actually a winning fight. Kookaburra will get Priv though, so it's still a 5v5, and they're missing the Ryan. Priv is going to get crit. Oh dear, now it's in trouble here. Decker's going to get taken out of mech. VCat's going to try and stay on point for as long as possible, but he's going to be swung down there from Silver. Soul is back, but at this point you'd almost want to just back out and not die, because if he dies, it's going to be a long spawn, and Skyer will get Priv. They're going to stall this for longer, but Skyer, and I don't know if they're going to... Oh dear.
This is going to be rough for Ambulance.
Oh no.
Maybe you want to hold on to that root tight. If you could hide and get away. And Cookie Burrow in that fight was doing such a great job. We look at that Mercy, already up to 85% to the Valkyrie. Was diving in, getting the heals, and getting the bubbles from King Penguin to allow the Mercy to get out as well. So great combination play by the Zarya and Mercy. Look at that, the Valkyrie is online. This point is locked down right now.
Feedback. He's jumping in.
Oh, there's Shadow the Wall.
Today, and unfortunately won't be able to get that one done. Boostio, take King's Row. We are tied at 1 apiece, and well, they did what they sort of did in the first attack there. They ran through that one pretty quickly.
Indeed. Look, if I had to nominate an MVP for that one particular map, it would be Cookie Burrow. Yeah, we saw the little fluff on the second attack from Wambulance where they died during the res, but the rest of the map was so good in that last fight, getting the resurrection. Getting the resurrection on the Priv, brought the Doomfist back, and once Priv was getting kills, that fight for point A and by extension the rest of the map was over. So fantastic work by the Mercy player there. A little hard for Wambulance. They did a really good job. To go away from that proud, you didn't lose any map. You don't lose in the regular rounds. If you go to extra rounds, it's a disappointment, yes, that you lost. But you've done so well to get it to those extra rounds in the first place. And they had a decent time back at the finish. It wasn't like they finished in overtime. Finishing with a minute 30 is a fantastic effort. So they can keep their heads held up high and take a little bit of confidence going into the next map, particularly because they get a choice. My pick, hopefully, is Junkertown. You know, this is the KOALA Cup. You've got Junkrat in the field. Take us to Junkertown. Make it an all-Australian matchup to finish off this one particular match.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad. I feel like on the side of Wambulance their mistake in sort of that last fight, at least, was they charged back into Soul, and I think it must have been also, I think it was Skyer over on the Lucio. Sky was on the junk. Both of them sort of got caught behind. Sky got caught behind. Soul charged in when he didn't really need to. The pointer was already lost, and then he got stuck with the long spawn. And him and Sky were just basically out of the fight already. It was almost immediately just left in the 4 and 6. And when the cart is so close to what is the objective, you really have to think that next time, probably don't do that. But hey, that's just from a commentator's perspective. It's a lot harder when you're actually playing the game. Very easy to criticize from sitting up in a golden perch.
Having that top-down view is so handy. I wouldn't mind that when I'm playing. Just, you know, put it in the corner of my screen. Let me see where everyone is at a given point in time. That's not cheating at all. Permanent wall, yes.
Well, we are on Junkertown. It is the map that everyone was asking for. So it is going to be one more cart one to finish this one off. And there's no control point in this one. It's just full cart. There's just one stretch, baby. You just got to take that one all the way to the end.
There you go. The only way we could draw this if both teams refuse to play, which I don't think is going to be a problem. Both teams eager, raring and ready to go. And Junkertown, I mean, there's some opportunities here. We could see some sniper play. Great long sightlines on the first point. Of course, when it was introduced and when it was played a lot, even at Overwatch League levels, we saw a whole lot of pirate ship, and I'm looking forward to seeing if we see that again today. They've got that Orisa shield, looks like a sail catching the wind, guiding that cart forward. I'd like to see that in action, mainly for the attacking team though. Defensive pirate ship is a lot of fun to see, mainly because it means you've got your enemy team camped in spawn. It's not fun for them, but you know, it's nice to see. On the defensive side,
that a defensive bunker, wouldn't you?
I think it's just, I don't know if his pirate ship just on Junkertown, or is any map you run a bunker on the cart?
I feel like Paris and Junkertown are the two maps that usually happens on, and well, Soul is going to be the first one to engage here as they try and keep Nuclear off, because they are going that pirate ship and
bio grenade sleep.
Oh, the bio grenade's huge there, but Soul almost taken down. At least push them off. Priv is going to get the first kill though onto Crit, and that's going to force Wambulance to get back at least a bit. Squidgy will manage to get the revive, so they're right back in. And also the anti-grenade again, almost catching the Sigma. Crit is going to get Priv this time. So now they feel like they want to be a bit more aggressive. Nuclear sets up a bit further back now, not on the cart just as yet. And the Orisa bring back in there, and the stun there from Sigma. Nuclear is going to rip through Soul, and Sky will actually be able to take down Silver though. They're still going to keep this one going.
Oh, Bob's on the field. Hello, Bob. It's nice to see you. Haven't seen you in ages. Plugging away, doing what they can. Turns out you can't spectate Bob first person. Nuclear
And
burns
unfortunately,
down
Bob's stay is pretty short there. And
Oh,
Nuclear,
Nuclear's-
well, he gets Bob, he gets Squidgy, he's
squished.
going to get Decker as well.
Oh no! Kills
He
the
has a
Diva
lovely
before the mech even dies. That's gotta hurt.
And Sol's clearly been listening to me because he charges away from that fight instead of charging in there. But now him and VTAC sort of stuck in an interesting position. There's going to be a sleep under the Sigma at least, so they'll avoid getting damage from him. But oh, Nuclear's going to get Sol. VTAC's going to be taken out as well. And that is basically the first point pretty much done there.
Yeah,
and
Sol was looking for a place to just even use the Earth Shatter, but I'm liking this Sigma pick. It's inspired. You've got the Orisa shield covering most of the cart, and typically when you're playing a pirate ship, you like another shield to cover the rest of the cart. The Sigma shield being so maneuverable, you can put it anywhere. It's so difficult to get damage through onto that Bastion. And look at that, they haven't had to burn any other ultimates to get through. Only Nuclear with that that tank configuration tank is the name of the ult.
And Sol is going to be the one.
Oh, Silver anti!
Oh no!
Oh.
That fight is almost immediately won there. A beautiful Anna ult there from VTAC onto Sol. He gets the shatter in. 4 go down from it, and that is just the end of that one. Ambulance will manage to hold them there for a while. Boostio now ready to set back up. It's interesting that they've still stuck with the two snipers, Ash and I guess also Widow. Maybe they'll be looking to try and go to a junk to at least take down some of the shield, but it seems to be working so far, so I guess there's no reason for it to switch off just yet. But Priv is going to get Soul Reaper.
He can't do that.
Try to get a bit too aggressive there, and he's going to feel the wrath of that one. Nuclear again pulling in some more there, and he's no room to get revived as well, so it's going to be a while until he gets back.
And no shield
for
the
team
rest of
gets
the
taken
team.
down. Squidge is going to get taken down as they get stuck up in the air. Decker is going to be diving onto the point, and that is all he's going to be doing to do is he collapses and dies there. And well, now Sol's back, but at this point he's only got the 3 players with him, so he's going to have to fall back with his Anna and Widow. They might have one more chance to get back on this one, but they don't have any ultimates. Oh, actually, Sky's going to have Bob, at least for this fight. And Deckard now has the Diva Bomb, so they will have a chance. Nuclear and Silver having their ults respectively as well.
Oh, Bob can
we now move into this one here.
There you go.
Nuclear,
yeah, there's Sky on the background, on the back line. Bob is contesting, but Nuclear with 3, the configuration tank overriding anything else, takes Kurt out of the fight as well. Decker trying to get back. They got 2 kills out of the self-destruct. But Bob and Sky are taken out of the fight. Nuclear is back in the fight as well. This cart will push through to the end of point B and put around 4 minutes on the clock for Boostio.
Yeah, valiant effort from Deckard there to try and keep that one going for a bit longer, but in the end it was just really in vain. As, well, the pirate ship seems to be working wonders so far, and Cookie and Depression both have their ults up. Kerat and Sol will have theirs at least, but there's also going to be Sky is going to be switching over to the Hanzo, so still technically a sniper. They're just at least trying to get a bit more done to the shield as Sol. He just dives straight again. That's a big anti-grenade back.
Oh, the Earth Shatter as well.
Actually just keeps them a bit more, but Nuclear and Priv are going to get Sol and VTAC there. And now they are going to be... Oh, King Pema gets Scar as well. It's already a 6v3 situation. And Squidgy... Oh, Cookie was trying to get Squidgy tough with the Mercy ult. And Squidgy said, no, that is not happening to me. And that actually forces a bit of a... fall back there from at least Boostio. They're still pushing on the point.
And the Mercy get back to the point.
That's the thing. Squidgy's actually looking to sort of...
Oh no, back on Boostio now.
And well, yep. They've won a Lucio v Lucio fight now, maybe. Nuclear, oh, he gets anti, gets taken down. Sky going to get him. Depression's going to get 2 though into VTAC and into Soul Reaper, keeping everyone alive as well as he stays in the Mac lines and pushing them both. 2 going down. Sigma. And it looks like also the Hanzo are going to be pushed down into the left one there, and that's going to leave Crit sort of left on point with the May. He manages to get a bit of stuff in there, but he's going to be just stuck on point. He's immediately probably going to get taken down here. And Silver's going to bring in his ult as well. Sol manages to get back on point. Well, the Lucio ult actually is going to keep them up there. Nuclear again with a Squidgy. His ults so far have been fantastic. They're still keeping this a pretty close fight. The Nuclear onto VTAC that gets another. And oh,
Ambulance doing a great job of contesting. They're going to bring it back. Oh, they're so low, but they've got the numbers and the kills advantage. What a hold from Wambulance. They just kept throwing themselves at the cart, and Kurt was doing such a...
Priv and Sky just trade that immediately.
Oh, I was saying Kurt was doing such a great job stalling on cart. With that cryo freeze, able to get away, Soul got out in a nick of time to keep the mate alive as well. And then we saw it stacking up. The Sam barrier came out to counter the gravitic flux, a little unintentionally. Of course, the Sam barrier came out first, but such a good job. They wasted about maybe a minute off the clock there. Now Boostio are the ones that have to run all the way back to the cart, and they're running into a blizzard and a gravitic flux. This fight could be brutal.
And they're running in heads first as it looks like it's going to be King Penguin almost going down again. The Baptiste invincibility really keeping them alive in a lot of these fights here.
Soul Reaper going aggressive.
And another huge Ana grenade crit is gonna... Sky and Squidgy are gonna get two. It's gonna be Trey. Sky's gonna get Priv, and there's the Mayhold. They've been waiting for that one. Priv and Nuclear are also gonna go down, and now it's just King Penguin running for their life to try and get out of this one. They might just get away. Yes, they do. And
so a little bit dangerous as Wambulance. Maybe didn't want that blizzard thrown in at the end. Had the fight won. With only a minute left, you need all the tools in your tool chest to get it done. Thankfully for them, Boostio doesn't have many ultimates available to them. I say doesn't have many, doesn't have any ultimates. Sky going down will make your life a bit more difficult, though. You can throw that dragon in from spawn if you absolutely have to. The coalescence from Squidgy, though, will be the first thing out, and will be necessary.
But Priv, that's a huge kill in the back, like VTech. The anti-grenades have been so good so far in the last 5. Soul, that shatter unfortunately is not going to do anything. Squidgy will manage to get Priv at least. And Silver, he's charging in, he's taking...
Got stunned out of his Earth Shatter.
And he's going to take him down, but now he's stuck in the back line by himself. Silver's going to take him, and Nuclear gets 3! Oh, wow! No. And now they have a real chance to hold this one. VTech on the brig. And Squidgy is stuck in the back line.
We cut down, the cart will just push through. No one can touch. Wow, Nuclear bringing that back for Boostio.
And well, what seemed like going towards their failure, they had the ultimate advantage going into that one, Wambulance, and they just couldn't quite get it done. A brilliant 3K on the Deadeye there, and well, it was just that one was all that was needed to really get the point back. They couldn't really get on. Squidgy got stuck in the back line, and they just couldn't get back towards point there, unfortunately, for Wambulance. They do at least take it to 0 seconds, but I think Boostio will be pretty happy they at least got the 3 there, because it didn't look like they would.
Yep, the win is on the table now for Boostio. All they have to do is stop Wambulance, finishing the map. Easier said than done, though. Wambulance, a strong team, getting stronger map by map. We'll see if they can get it done here. Throw us to overtime here on Junkertown.
It looks like it's going to be the double setup shield here. Orisa and Sigma over on the side of Boostio.
And also got the double sniper.
Yeah, the Nuclear on the Hanzo and Priv on the Widow.
And so much protection available. Of course, you've got that Sigma barrier as well. Priv probably a bit more static, but Nuclear will just run around, have that barrier available on tap. It's going to be so difficult for Wambulance to deal with them. We saw how good Nuclear is on Hanzo on Nepal with that great flank on Sanctum.
And Crit's going to have so much trouble here having to face up against 2 snipers. Like, they're worrying about the opposite Widow, but then they've also got to worry about Hanzo. They'll be hoping Skya can do some at least damage or like distraction towards either of the 2.
And Squidgy will have to be very wary. Only 1 shield. Oh no, 2 shields with the Sigma. But yeah, Squidgy will have to be very wary. Doesn't want to get caught out of position because that Zenyatta going down is going to stop any attack coming through from Wambulance.
As they're pushing a new crit. Oh, that's a big kill onto Cookie early, and that is not what you want on the side of Boostio. You lose one of your main healers. Reaper's going to follow that up on a kill on the Penguin. And now it's in Struggle Town. Nuclear gets tagged out to 95 as well.
Not only...
They're just trying to back out, and Skya's going to take down Priv, and now it's just the Orisa. Oh, the anti-grenade there as well from VTech. Skya's going to take down Silver.
Oh, Soul got the charge from downtown. Nails Depression. And you mentioned it, losing your main support, especially the Mercy. The Resurrection is gone. You can survive 1 kill or 1 death on your team as long as it can be res. But no, there's no...
And they almost immediately lost that as well with the... The card was being pushed so quickly, they really had no time. They didn't have time to jump on for a second fight at least. And Like already, Ambulance, they're already at 5 minutes, and they're continuing to push this one with, I guess, no real problem. No ults on either side though, so this will be just the next sort of fight to see if they can get some picks out. VTAC coming back from spawn as well.
And it'll be this Wambulance now has the advantage a little bit. So the first point heavily favors snipers. Not so useful here. It is, you can get some sight lines, but it's not as freewheeling as the point A is. So I'm looking at Skyer. They'll be throwing the Junkrat bomb over the top, doing a great job there. A couple of great ultimates available to Wambulance as well, should they need them. The VTAC is the first to fall.
Priv was just having a fun there with VTAC, and then Nuclear jumps in with 2 as he gets both the Ana, the Junkrat, Squidgy, and Soul. Nuclear with 4 picks as he's just putting Hanzo to work here, builds up his ultimate in quick time. Silver will take down Decat, and that is going to be Boostio holding the second point there for a while at least. And now they have 4 ults, and it's pretty much going to be 6 across the board to work with. And it's going to be almost 6 on the side of Boost on Wambulance as well. Just Skyer is not going to have his. And Skyer and Soul.
Cookie burrowed down first!
Cookie, he got the revive, but was it really worth it in the end? Because now Soul's got him, VTAC's got
VTAC takes Nuclear. Oh, revenge is sweet for the side of Wambulance. They are going to march. They're going to have an even better time bank than Boostio did here.
And you got to love that from Soul as well. He had the chance to use his Shadow, but he much rather just run forward, use the Fire Strike on towards Silver there, takes him down, and Crit, he's going to immediately get Priv as well. Oh, Soul is going to take a rock straight to the face and gets anti-tank down to 115. He's going to have that shield as he manages to just stay alive. But they get that second point, which is exactly what they wanted, and they've still got almost just under 5 minutes as well on the clock to go.
The bright side for Boostio is they didn't use any ultimates, so they're going to be overwhelmed by Wambulance. So it's only a matter of time before we do see a kerfuffle of ultimates on the board here.
Well, it's interesting, not a single ultimate was actually used in that last one, but now they're starting to come in here as Priv.
Nano and the Valkyrie. Oh.
Silver will get Priv, and he will get Cookie as well with the punch there. What a fantastic one. Skyer gets another one, this one onto Silver. He is having the time of his life. Depression is going to pick up this. Oh, he's going to just get out of there. The sleep onto Soul saves his life.
Had the Discord on the Arnazol. Yeah, Cookie going a little too deep. Had the Valkyrie intact, but tried for the res. A little ballsy, but it didn't pay off. And now, Ambulance charging his car forward. They got 4 minutes to get it. Just the remaining 20 meters left in this map. A tall task for them. We'll see if the Gravitic Flux can make the difference.
He's going to pick up 2 there, at least. Penguin, but
the
Shatter
trap in the
in the back lines. Priv and Nuclear were able to get some trades, but Skyer again, he's just getting these kills so quickly. And basically, they're all dead and it's done. It's just like that.
Time back they did with 3 minutes 40 left on the clock. That's almost unheard of on Junkertown.
They added 39 seconds there, Wambulance. That is pretty crazy, especially for Junkertown. And now Boostio only have 1 minute.
They'll be lucky to make it halfway through point A with that kind of time bank.
And again, it was just crazy watching that. There was no ultimates used for pretty much the whole of the second point because Wambulance just got the early picks when I think it was Cookie was trying to revive onto, I think it must have been Nuclear.
It was on Priv. They just got, so Priv had died, got resurrected, and Cookie got killed immediately after performing the resurrection.
And just from there, they just couldn't hold that one. They all got caught out. They all got split up. And really, it was fantastic stuff from Wambulance. They rolled them. There's no other words for it. They just completely destroyed them on that one. Every opportunity they were given, they took. The shatters were perfect. The ultimate combos were worked well. And really, they didn't really put a step wrong apart from losing that fight on the second point there. They lost a bit of time, but still gained 39 seconds. And it's looking like it's a pirate ship again here from Boostio, and they'll need that one to go as long as possible. Oh no! Oh,
well, you're right. The pirate ship worked out really well for Boostio the first time. They need everything they can get. We're in a pretty much reverse position.
They're not ready for this. Oh
no!
The Priv managed to get Skyer the crit, and actually maybe it is going to turn away there. What looked like that actually probably work out there for Wambulance is going to turn the opposite direction. Priv gets 2 picks, this one on a VTAC as well, and he is chasing after Priv. He's going to think better of it, but now it is only just the Sim and the Sigma trying to get away as fast as they can. They will at least be able to contest this one again. That is what
Wambulance had the right idea, that the execution just wasn't there. They have given over a little slight advantage to Boostio, not only ultimate percentage-wise, but now they have the momentum. Wambulance come back, they get their members back, but they're not quite in the position they wanted to be in. And of course, Nuclear, takes it down too!
Even with the anti-nuclear is just having the time of his life, that Baptiste invincibility is just helping him out completely. And now they're all grouped together, and Nuclear's going to have the time of his life. He can land these. He gets all three. Quit, Squidgy, and Deckard hit the ground. And, well, they will actually probably be able to fight this one if they want to, because they have the sim.
Not sure you do.
They're going to think better of it, yeah.
No, you still got, you only got two. Almost gets halted out the door. But look at Boostio's position now. They've made up this so well. Now they're at 4 minutes 40 in the time bank for Ambulance. Not looking so hot. Boostio didn't even need that minute to get through the first point. What can they do with the rest of the map? Of course,
they do have a lot of ults coming up here.
They don't want to leave the cart. There's the Amp Matrix is out first. Teleporter's finally down.
And Priv again diving in. He's going to get Squidgy. That's a huge kill. Gets Sky as well. And those immediate 2 picks are great. Soul Man just get a couple as well, but Soul and Crit
kills are coming back.
Trade back. Crit, but again, it's just Priv.
VTAC's got to be careful.
It's a one-man army at the moment on this Doomfist. He gets Crit, Soul
so
Reaper.
Close.
Depression will get VTAC. They almost had a chance to keep that one going there, but I mean, you lose the Baptiste early in that fight. It makes it really difficult when you don't have the invincibility. Fighting on point, definitely. And it looks like it's going to be a couple of switches up here as well for Wambulance.
Wambulance not quite able to finish that up. Both teams actually had their burst healer available. The Ana for VTAC and the Depressions Baptiste are both there, ignoring each other in the back line, just pumping out all their healing. In the end, yeah, those fast spawns, Priv coming back for Boostio seal the deal. And look, they push through point B. Who needs a 4.5 minute time bank? I mean, I don't think Wambulance is... Yeah, Wambulance not looking so hot anymore.
If they're going to hold them, it's at this point here, because they will get, the door is going to get stuck behind them, and the pull up there, that's very nice from DKSY. He's not
great fortified counter it.
Very low on the back, he manages to get healed up. They didn't actually get anything. Nuclear is going to get, again, kills again, and it would look like a very nice ult from Wambulance, and to keep each other up, they actually don't really get any kills off it, and they just keep drilling forward, Boostio.
They only picked up Silver. Fortunately, their ult wasn't placed far enough back. Silver just able to fortify out of it. You got those Ana and Baptiste healing coming through. You're not going to kill a fortified Orisa through that.
And there's a change to a Winston for Deckard as well. And they have got a real chance again. They don't have any ults at the moment. Nuclear is actually going to get his Tracer one now. Priv, he'll have his Doom one coming up.
They got the Doomfist. They're going to have the Supercharger. The healers are so close as well. Things are not looking good for Wambulance right now. Maybe someone should call them one of their namesake. Because they're going to need it after this. I say that.
Big kill. Nuclear goes down. And Crit is going to take down the invincibility. Priv goes up in the air. He needs to get something with his Shadow. He does. He gets VTAC. That's a big kill. The Adder goes down. He's going to get Crit as well. Sky at least going to trade on a Cookie, but King Penguin and Silver. Sky, Squidgy, they all go down.
Oh my word. Priv is going ham right now. Brought that back from the brink of destruction for Boostio. They're going to push this cut through.
Stop it? I don't think they're able to do this.
No, they can't. I reckon Priv is going to get in that doorway, spam them. Wow, what a push from Boostio. I did not see that coming. Just based on how both teams played their first rounds. Wow, Boostio coming up big exactly when they need it. They've kept themselves in this map, and now the shoes on the other foot. Wambulance are the ones looking down the barrel of a defeat on this map and in this series.
And all Cookie has to say, and pretty much all the members of the Boostio team towards Wambulance, is just a question mark. Like, what was that, guys? What happened? You did so well. What happened? You did so well in the first one. What happened, guys?
Well, look, Wambulance can bring it back. They've got more time now than they started with. Or they finished the map in... Oh, no, sorry. They got an additional minute. So they pushed the complete map in about 4 minutes 20.
Would have been around that, yeah. So
not totally unreasonable for them to finish it again with time in the time bank. Okay, I'm being all doom and gloom. So... Yeah, I'm being all doom and gloom, but now I do the math. It's actually not that bad for them. Yes, of course, the pressure is on. You can't really slip up any fights. If you're gonna slip up, it has to be in the first 2 points. But then you have to get right back on that horse and get right back on that cart and push it home.
And you can see Crit has immediately gone to that McCree because they realise they really need to limit Priv's use there. He was fantastic in that first, just in all those fights on that second push there. He was just getting everything won. Like every time it looked like his Sky had just fallen off the map. Okay, well we're just gonna ignore that one as
no, we're not going to ignore that. We're going to focus on that. That will be the key topic in our aftermatch analysis. Skyer taking a dive, swapping over to Hanzo.
They just saw what was happening and thought, you know what, I don't really like Widow anymore. And now it is going to be just fighting on point. Silver's going to get Soul. Crit will, oh, he gets Priv. That's the one they were looking for. With no mercy to revive, Sky will also get King. Nuclear at least able to get Squidgy and Decade down, so they are still ahead in this fight. And Nuclear again, another one. So when Priv's not stepping up, it's Nuclear. They still only have 4 here, so if they can group back up quickly here, Ambulance, they might be able to take advantage of it. Priv is going to be getting back in now
as well. Yeah, Boostio doing exactly what they should here. They're just playing for time. As long as they can get out of this fight, even if they lose, if they're burning 10, 20 seconds off the clock with no cart movement every time, they're making it harder and harder, putting Wambulance under so much pressure. That Dragon doesn't get much, just forces Wambulance back a bit. And now the Supercharger is on the field as well.
And Nuclear, another kill on the Soul Reaper. Squidgy, he's going to get taken down by Depression. Priv will get Crit. Silver will get Sky, and already a minute's been taken off the clock, and this cart hasn't really gone too far. Decade's going to go down late as well, so that's going to be more time. They're going to have to wait to respawn and group here for Wambulance.
And as the further and further the cart gets through point A, the harder and harder it is for the attacking team to make an attack on the cart. You've got to run all the way through this death alley. You're running through the Hanzo arrow, just spamming down. You've got Priv lurking in your backline. Where is the Doofus hiding out? I don't know. Sky has been spotted out on the side by the Sonic Arrow. So.
Priv, he's looking to try and dive in, but they take him out, or they push him back before he can do anything.
Drops on the bridge.
He gets dropped on top of the bridge, so they can't really defend themselves, or their team below him, but luckily nothing really comes of it. Fight's still really going on guard here. They've got the 3 ultimates here for Wambulance, so they feel like they should be able to get this, and that could be a big Diva Bomb. It's a bit deep back, but at least gets Depression. Crit gets Priv, and now the Hanzo ult is going to come out here from Nuclear. It's not going to get much done though. Penguin will get at least onto Vite, but then Squidgy, Crit, Skyer, and Deca all get the final kills there. And they should be able to push this all the way to the end of the first point with still at least a minute 40 on the clock.
I was watching that fight from above. I just saw a little moment. VTAC was in the middle of the fight. All of Boostio turned around and just looked at that Vegeta.
That was quite great. Depression threw a nade from the top of bridge there, and I think it was Decade had just flown up there, ate it, and then just shook their head like, nah, that's not happening. See you later, mate. And, well, they've taken time off the clock. They'll be pretty happy with that, at least. They've just baited Decade in so hard. He's going to get trapped and get knocked out of mech. They'll just plan that one from the start. Decade fell for the trap, and he was more than willing to oblige.
Priv's not letting off.
He's Priv again. Sky. We'll get Cookie.
Out of the fight.
Again, Cookie just sort of gets caught out in these situations where you think they've got the fight won, but then he sort of gives himself up. Probably not by his own means, but I mean, you never know.
There's a little overconfidence, perhaps. You know, you've got the Diva out of the fight. You've got Priv moving forward. You're safe. A Dragon there wouldn't shoot. What? How are you getting picked? Oh, maybe a Holt actually came through from Silver there. Yeah.
That was the pullback in for... I thought that had already passed. I'm pretty sure Nuclear had missed them all, and then the drawback in from Silver, that is huge. And again, just knocks them out. Now there's only 40 seconds on the clock, and they've got 4 ults, and there is only 1 or 2 now over on the side of Wambulance. They might, after having 4 minutes 30 after that first point, might be unfortunately going down. They're going to have to pull off something to get this one going.
And of course, Priv is going to be playing so aggressive. Has the Meteor Strike to get out of dodge if the need comes for it.
And Priv immediately going after Sky.
The sneaky Earthshatter from behind. Soul Reaper gets on the bridge, takes out 2. Trying to get... No, doesn't quite take it.
That's actually a big...
Smart resurrection.
I was about to say that they lose both DPS now. Priv goes down, but at least they still have their 2 healers. They might still be able to fight this one on point. Crit gets Silver though, and now it's a 3v6, and they have to try and get out as quickly as possible. And it looks like
in their ults.
Gaia is trying to get that one going. We're not done with yet. We might have one more push to go here.
Boostio playing the long game, but they are giving space for Wambulance to build up. Look there in the 90s. Tick, tick, tick coming online. It's going to be an ult Fiesta coming into point C, but Wambulance needs to get the job done. They have to play so perfect from here. They're playing into so many ults. They cannot afford a single slip up, or they will be going home at the end of this map.
Sol has got to try and keep that shield up as long as possible, because that D.Va Bomb comes in, he needs to stay on point. He can't afford to lose that one. As Priv dives in, the nano boost as well, but he actually gets pushed back pretty well. He still manages to dive in the back line, trying to get towards Sky, and he's going to get two as well. And then King is going to get his one out as well. The D.Va Bomb goes out. It's not going to get anyone though. They will at least try and get a remake back. It won't happen. Boostio take the series 2-1.
Well, and Priv putting on a masterclass Doomfist there. That last fight, jumping into the Doomfist. Yes, they got knocked back, but the important part is they knocked 2 players out of the immortality field. And once those players are out of the protection of that field, the Meteor Strike came out, the Dragon came through, killed them, and it was the end of Wambulance. Someone should be dialing 000 right now, please. If you know where any of these Wambulance members live, let the emergency services know they need it. They are beaten, bruised, bloodied, but it is Boostio who'll be moving on. I guess we're sitting at Boostio and Orisa Dive sitting on 1 win each.
And I guess this would
right,
well, we'll
take a break because we need to do things.
Too much has happened. I need
maintain
to
our bodies,
a drink or something. But it's been 2 fantastic maps so far, and well, I must say it must be the grand finals coming up for the last one, because it's Boostio and Orisa Dive one to come up. Both teams dealing with what was Wambulance. It'll be interesting to see who our winning teams can take the final one. We will be back shortly. Until then, don't go anywhere. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Koala Cup. That's Koala Cup with a K. It's final time. We had 3 teams. It is now 2. Wambulance has waved goodbye. They have taken off. Their parents are now with them at the hospital. We prayed for their early recovery from those 2 losses. They gave admirable fights in both, but now it is the final 2 teams, Orisa Dive and Boostio. And Temp, my man, well, we're looking forward to what would be a 5-map series here, so we're hoping this one goes all the way.
Oh, look. I'm happy to throw in a draw at some point. We'll take it to a 6-map series. You know, we're a bit starved for Overwatch at the moment, so I will take as much of it as I can right here. Hopefully, we see from these teams they've got nice names, Boostio and Orisa Dive. We haven't seen any Boostio or Orisa Dive on the field, so hopefully they've been working that out in the pause. You know, thinking, okay, we've made it to the final. Now is the time to show off why we earn these names.
I feel like we could definitely sue for this because they have advertised as one thing and they have not presented it. So it's false advertising. You cannot get away from that. We're on to you, both of you guys, both of these teams. They better watch out.
And there's, you know, a good chance, at least on Boostio, we're seeing a good chance of that possibly coming out. Depression has been doing a great job on Ana, nailing those biotic grenades, building up that ult charger very fast. Not necessarily seeing Kookaburra on Lucio the whole time, has been flexing quite a bit onto the Mercy, which they're hovering over now. Whether that comes out, we will see. But I think the name on everyone's tongue on the side of Booster at the moment is Priv on that Doomfist. Has proved so pivotal in their victory over someone called the Wambulance. Nuclear, of course, not to be overlooked, a fantastic hit scam player, also picking up the Hanzo on previous maps. Looking at Orisa Dive, saw them before. I'm really looking forward to this tank combination coming out from Orisa Dive. No Orisa to be spoken of, a little unfortunate, but Crockett, or K-Rocket, and Affinity doing a fantastic job on this dive. We'll see what they have in store for us. As both teams maneuvering around, I've forgotten we swap roles.
You are now doing the casting, my friend. I am the color caster as we get right back into this one.
So K-Rocket going very aggressive. Both tanks a bio grenade, forcing the tank line. Oh, boosted back, but Priv has something to say about that. Thos getting into the back line. No can do though. The Doomfist will take care of business. King Penguin is knocked out of mechs a bit. Oh, Priv though getting in deep, taking out Rivani. K-Rocket getting revenge on King Penguin. That little diva out of mech. Very back and forward right now. The dive potential with Orisa Dive, but the resurrection from Kookaburra may prove too strong. No, not quite. King Penguin rezzed, but Saiyan and J-Hole getting in on the action. In the middle of that, Orisa Dive actually managed to take over the point, and they will hold on now. Just a diva left, but not long for this world is King Penguin. A solid effort. Boostio, though, forced back to spawn.
Yeah, and again, it was Priv who got those early picks onto most of the healing ones there. Rivani went down early. Nico's going to get a nice pick on there on Affinity, but it was the response by Jothol because he wasn't getting dived by Priv for a while there. He was trying to keep the fight going on point. He managed to get 2 or 3 picks of his own, so Priv, I think, knows what he has to try and do now as Boostio move back into this one. They've already lost 50%, so they're going to have to try and get this one changed over pretty quick.
Oh, the Widow Julie's on the infra site will make sure that the enemy team is spotted. Thos makes great use of that. Nuclear flies through the air, cops a pulse bomb, and is immediately eliminated from this fight. The self-destruct over the top. Saiyan, I don't know what that Lucio is doing up there, but it was up to no good. Thos gets in onto Depression. Priv, Meteor Strike down onto J-Hole. Someone finally dealing with that Widowmaker, but Thos has been doing all the damage. I mean, it's fine, you can focus on the Widowmaker all you want, but when the Tracer is in your backline causing chaos, it does not matter. Boostio forced back to spawn again.
And again, Priv there, he had to put his entire ult into just taking out Jothol. It's just having the time of his life out the back. And then when he takes his way off his team, Thos just manages to jump in, get the ones on the back. They do have 3 ultimates coming into this one though, so they might be able to try and switch this one over quick. It's already 93% though as they jump back in.
It's make or break for Boostio on this point right now. The support ultimates are the first to line. Crockett taken out of the fight. J-Hole picks up Nuclear. The Widow v Widow duel definitely in J-Hole's favor right now. It's even trades back and forward for both teams on the points. With the resurrection there available, Nuclear coming back. Affinity picked up 2. So the Diva doing a great job. Has the sound barrier in support now from Saiyan as well. J-Hole somehow copped it as well. So it's very back and forth on the point. King Penguin, though, knocked out to make the Meteor Strike won't quite be as damaging this time. King Penguin dancing around. Nuclear not quite able to get away either. The self-destruct on point just to clear it off. It will do the job. Orisa Dive taking out the first round of Ilios.
And again, it was just all the look on there. Cookie actually got a really nice revive there onto their own Widow, trying to just do that 1v1 with J-Hole. Actually managed to push him off and get that fight done, but then Cookie goes down towards Infinity, who got a great pick there. And they really should have won a few of those fights, Boostio. I think they'd be pretty disappointed to not at least flip the point once, but in the end, really good holds there from Orisa Dive. And J-Hole, if he's not going to be contested much as it looks like, they are going to be switching over to a Winston here on silver, so I think they realize they need to at least deal with him, give Priv more of an opportunity just to focus on the Tracer and more of the point fights. And well, I mean, from there, on the other side of things, not really had much else to change from the side of Orisa Dive. They did everything pretty correctly there. Crockett still wants to try and dive on towards, I guess, their McCree is now the thing, because they've swapped off their own Widow. But yeah, they're going to try and dive, and it looks like it's going to be an early sleep out there if we get this one underway.
Yeah, got to be careful now as Thoss with the McCree on the field. The flashbang is a possibility. The dive going both ways. Wow, the tank line from Boosto going very deep, hunting down J-Hole. They do trade Kookaburra out in the meantime. Even trades again. Both McCrees out of the fight. One healer gone from either team as well. So plenty of frontline presence. But I'd be a little bit worried if I was Orisa Dive. You've lost your Ana. Boosto still has that Moira available. Yeah, you lose your Lucio as well. All the kills are going to go the way of Boostio. They were in control of the point. They will cap it first. Eventually.
Oh, they're almost there. There we are. And again, J-Hole decides to switch off to the McCree, and he just got dived to Earth and Beyond. He just everyone jumped at him. He was immediately taken out of that early fight. Actually even trades early on, but then just winning, I guess, the Boostio the fight on the point, managing to trade back and forth. They get the picks that they want, and now it's forced the Orisa Dive to make some picks that J-Hole is going to be switching off to that Doomfist. He's already down.
Yeah, I don't want to challenge Priv to a Doomfist fight, and neither does J-Hole at this point. Goes in deep, but almost immediately gets countered. K-Rocket out of the fight as well. Again, Orisa Dive, look, they're smart with the pullback though. No, they know when a fight is lost, and they're getting out with their ultimates.
And I can see why J-Hole did switch off the Widow, because this is a lot harder for him to actually manage to get more of a clean open space to try and get those picks, and especially when you know that Priv is going to be diving you. I feel like
no! Nuclear caught out. Orisa Dive doing exactly to Nuclear what Boostio did to J-Hole. They identify the McCree is on their own, taking him out of the fight. J-Hole is countered though. Priv getting the job done there. The Meteor Strike just to get away. He's trying to hunt down this Lucio, but will get burnt down. Thoss coming up with 2. That is big play from the Tracer. This will be what Orisa Dive needs to make an impact onto the point. They still haven't capped it yet. The Primal Rage from Silver will make it a lot more difficult as well. The self-destruct blows up in that Science's face. Not going to survive that even as a Primal Raging Monkey. And with that Orisa Dive back onto the point, they are going to clean up and cap out the point and get their own capture progress started.
And that all came on the King Penguin and Silver. They dived on Ravani to try and get him out of the fight early, but he stayed alive for so long that by the time they did kill him, they'd lost the fight on point almost immediately with the 2. And I'm not really sure about saying he used the early Lucio one, and he's going to be the first one to go down as well.
Nuclear picking that one. K-Rocket wants to still get in there, maybe hopefully building up that Primal Rage before they get taken down. Gets the Nano Boost, sorry, not the Nano Boost, the Bio Grenade on them to keep them alive, and the rest of the damage is coming through Affinity, and J-Hole getting in on that as well. Orisa Dive doing a great job building up their percentage on the point. Yeah,
and they also are going to be the ones with the more ults coming in for this last fight, or well, the next fight as well, because, and again, you would have thought there that, I think it was Saiyan just got picked off really early there, and you thought, oh, one down, there's also a healer, but they just dived so perfectly together. And they were just able to trade the damage across evenly. They didn't lose anyone from there. And now it's going to be at least a couple of, not really any changes. I mean, they've got Nuclear with the Deadeye, but he's going to find it pretty difficult to try and get open space to actually get that one off.
Silver slept to start, immediately woken up. The Deadeye is on the field. The rest of Orisa Dive, though, nicely kiting away from that. Nuclear goes down in the middle of a Crockett coming up with a kill there. We'll see if they're able to follow up the Primal Rage from K-Rocket, just keep the Rinston alive, causing chaos amongst the point as the percentage ticks up towards the percentage that Boostio had. Thos taking Silver out of the fight. That's a big tanky presence gone. Affinity uses a self-destruct just to clear space. Buys a little bit of time. Actually, Depression gets knocked off the edge thanks to the self-destruct. Affinity killed, but perhaps not expecting right there, particularly on Nomura. Pre forced to use a Meteor Strike just to survive. Was thrown off the edge by the Meteor Strike. Comes down. Oh, nails Ravane. He gets the knockoff onto the armor. It's still very back and forth on the point. Boostio has that Sound Barrier available. Cookie Pyro doing what they can, bouncing around the point, trying to keep their team alive. It's going to work. Picks off Affinity in the middle of that. They lose Depression, but the point is going to flip back the way of Boostio once they can get this. Oh, sorry, I may have spoken too soon. There's 3 members of Orisa Dive still available on the point. Thos, though, taking out of the fight. Priv is back. Has that rocket punch. Oh my god, Rod punches off the side. Priv, you don't want to be doing that right now.
And that was just a really messy fight. And Priv going down actually gives Orisa Dive a little bit of advantage to try and get back on this point quickly, but they're going to have to go now, and it's going to have to be Sane. He has to just dive in and then Lucio to at least touch maybe. It's actually going to be, I think it's Infinity's going to be getting that one there.
Yeah, the rest of Orisa Dive not far behind. They are on the point. They have a lot of healing available to them, though. With Saiyan out of the fight, there's the AoE gone. Priv is back in the fight. All the support is gone for the side of Orisa Dive. They're going to have to survive on the back of their ultimates. Oh. Affinity has to self-destruct. It picks up Silver. No, Affinity Bunny blasts Silver down. K-Rocket getting in the kill onto Depression as well. The tank line of Orisa Dive. We talked about them before. Doing a phenomenal job. They're bringing it back for Orisa Dive right now. The kills are all blue in the kill feed. Percentage ticking up. They've recaptured the 0.99%. Overtime burns down. Orisa Dive turn it around and take Ilios.
Well, it looked like they had that in the bag at least to take that to well on the side of Boostio, but then it was the Primal Rage pull out there, and it was just all the Boostio members. It was, I think it was, must have, I'm trying to think of who it actually was on this side of Boostio that got knocked off. It was the Mora there, just got
the Mora with the self-destruct, yeah.
Yeah, and just got knocked off, going with the Winston Rage plus the self-destruct, and that was it. And really, because they lost the 2 healers there, they lost Sane and they lost the Wards King, and they had both of those guys. They was a 4v6 basically, no healers on the side of Orisa Dive, and they still pulled that one out. It's very impressive stuff.
That is insane. It's full credit to that tank line. We talked about it at the start of the match. K-Rocket and Affinity work so well together. They know how to play these heroes, and they're playing them to perfection right now. Boostio needs to be on their game, perhaps put a little more focus on be a little more wary of how strong these tanks are. Priv and Nuclear, maybe swap. You know, they're doing well on the heroes they're playing, but if you can't hit the Winston and the Diva as they try flying around, maybe it might be worth swapping off something. Maybe we'll see a Reaper, maybe a Hanzo, I don't know. But of course, Boostio, being the losing team, they will get to pick. They are going to have to pick an escort map, so it'll be interesting to see where they take us. I'm assuming they won't perhaps pick Junkertown map that does so favour. Oh, actually, no, that's an interesting question. I was going to say Junkertown would favour a more dive. No, sorry, Junkertown doesn't. Never mind. You know what? I'll let you provide the colour because I'm just talking myself in circles.
Right, you are. And I mean, the thing is here for Orisa Dive at least, they need to make sure that they pull this one on to the next one. Because Boostio actually, even though they lost that 1-2-0, both maps went very close, and they probably should have taken that to a 3-map one. So there again, you have to look towards Priv. He does so much damage on that Doomfist. He's diving and his punches, even the meteor strikes, everything he does so far is just working fantastically. They are looking to Orisa Dive to try and get him down as much as possible. If they're looking to change up anything, Boostio, it might be to possibly switch over to an Ana, try and get a few more anti-grenades. As much as they were doing well diving Ravani each time that they went on towards the points there, but the thing was they need to make sure if they dive Ravani, it needs to be everyone, because that big point where they actually lost and it flipped over was both their tanks went after Ravani. They kept it up, and then from there it was just really hard to really win the final point, because Priv is really just the only one trying to keep them up there. They have the healers get left open to the other 2 tanks, and well, that's just all she wrote. And well, now we're going to be switching over to Rialto, and ooh, I like this bridge at the start because that means Lucio boops.
Lucio boots, you can see Arissa's out there halting people, Roadhog hooks, and honestly, it wouldn't go astray for the side of Boostio, though right now they will start on the attack. So we'll more concern ourselves with what Orisa Dive is running, and as they head out of spawn, it looks like they may not be running that Winston Diva this time. They're going for a little more of a static bunkery composition.
That's what they're looking for. Also, your microphone is very nice and crackly at the moment. It's actually quite reminding me of popcorn, which I think is delicious.
Not this again.
Yeah. You've got to love it, especially in the grand finals. And it looks like both teams getting ready here to face this one out. Crockett, Affinity just booping up and down, preparing themselves for the deadly height ahead, where both bodies will be thrown at this one to die to move a payload which contains a box. What's in the box? I have no idea, but I guess you'll have to read Overwatch lore to know that one, which I couldn't be bothered reading because why not? They're going to be pushing in closer here, and it's going to be the Maywall that goes up there from Nico Trap. It looks like K-Rocket and 2 in at least for a while. K-Rocket's going to be taken, stay up for a bit, but Priv is going to take him down, and immediately they have the 5v6 fight, pushing Orisa Dive back as far as possible. Priv again getting that dive in, not able to take anyone out there, but a dive in also with the Diva. Silver's going to take down Ravani. Affinity will get a trade at least onto Silver, and they get a few back. They're closer to the spawn here. Trying to stay on the cart, and Zane's going to get nuclear, and that is big. Now they have a chance to push them back. Cookie is going to get almost taken down there by Orisa, but Priv is going to be trying diving, and he's going to be taken out. And that is going to be fight 1 there for Orisa Dive. And now it is just in the back line. King Penguin just trying to get out. Make sure he doesn't get picked off before they start this new assault. Both teams trying to bid off all.
Back on the field.
And the microphone's still sounding great there from Temp as we keep this one. Crockett's going to get a pick there immediately onto Silver. And immediately the fight sort of just ends as soon as it really begun. Trying to charge up as well here. And I guess at this point, Boostio just sort of stagnant, trying to get everyone back together. And Affinity's got his ult. He's getting 92% charge as well, so he's definitely ready to go in. Oh, that is a big grab. Crockett's going to get 2. Thoss will get 1 as well. Crockett with 3 now. Doesn't even need to use his shatter. And they're just going to let Baby Diva run away for a while. Penguin will jump off into the water below. Clearly did not go to the swim survive sessions. And so far, 2 minutes now left on the clock. 3 ults up for Boostio, but it's also 2 ults on the side of Orisa Dive and Crockett. Oh, I like this. He's hiding in the corner. Oh, not anymore. I thought he might try that one.
We saw
and the microphone's back. There it is. Would you like to take over, my friend? It's all yours.
The Earth Shatter comes down, blocked by the shield of K-Rocket. That's a great work by the Reinhardt. Keeps their own Earth Shatter as well. Holding on, waiting for the perfect opportunity to use it. We saw how good they were against Wambulance, using it, hiding behind the scenes on King's Road. An Application Matrix, ooh, blocked by the wall, but the Tac Visor from Thoss will burn through it. Look, Boostio doing a great job. They're not doing anything. That's what you need to do. You've just avoided 2 ultimates by standing still. And now look, they come out. The Blizzard's on the field as well. The Deadeye from J-Hole will pick Kubara out of the fight. No Sand Barrier, no speed available. The DPS of Orisa Dive doing their job. Just a little couple of kills coming through for the side of Boostio. But this defense will stabilize, but now it's a race between the reinforcements to see who can get back first. Silver, ooh, maybe not wanting to stick around in that fight so long.
And Cookie with a dive in there as well, just to sort of keep that one going. He's unfortunately not able to get anything done there. But again, it was just that, what you thought, they wasted 2 of their ults there. Well, I guess not wasted, but they used 2 of their ults, and Boostio were actually able to hide away pretty well. But then when they went in with theirs, same thing happened. J-Hole with 3 picks on his McCree did fantastic stuff. The Deadeye immediately on the Cookie was sort of got it there as they jump back into another fight.
Grab immediately countered by the Sand Barrier. That's what Cookie was holding it onto for. The Meteor Strike is out. We'll see where that comes down. Oh, the Earth Shatter is huge. The Meteor Strike comes down on K-Rocket, and the kills are all going the way of Orisa Dive. The Deadeye in the backline as well, taking the Lucio out of the fight.
And Silver got blocked off his shatter as well. Ravani with the jump in there, and he tries to jump in late, but it was the Briggs shield bash actually stopped Silver from getting the shatter, and Crockett, his was not stopped, and he got a huge 4-5 man there, and that basically got it won.
Yeah, and what a defense by Orisa Dive. You know, that first corner, it's not something you see every day on Rialto. Usually teams, if they're going to get blocked on A, it's generally around either that last corner immediately before the point, or maybe the second corner. So that is almost unheard of. So and they've set themselves up in a great position now. They've a simple task ahead of them. Just push it 75 meters and you've got the second map in the bag. You're sitting on match point.
Yeah, there really can be no mistakes here for Boostio. I'm wondering if they might try the pirate ship again. And it seems like it is going to be that way. They've got the Baptiste, they've got the Bastion, they've got the two shield tanks in Sigma and Orisa, and they've also still got Priv on that Doomfist. He wasn't really able to get that too much done in those fights, and that really came down to J-Hole and that McCree. A lot of flashbangs, and the flashbang just even being there for Priv makes him worry and makes him want to, I guess, like choose other fights. And when you're going for something else, when you don't exactly have the most amount of health on Priv, it makes it a lot harder. But also Crockett was just pulling out fantastic players as well. And his Winston here could be interesting. If he sees that the BAP is out the back by himself and he manages to get a dive on him, it could put Boostio under immediate pressure.
And of course, you've got to get through the Bastion, and Winston flying through the air, a nice, juicy target for that Gatling gun equipped Omnic. There you go. K-Rocket does go on the high ground. Just using that Tesla cannon to get a lot of damage onto the front line of Boostio. Nuclear and J-Hole, not exactly the hero you expect to see going down first in a fight. The Sombra to a Bastion. There, K-Rocket out of the fight as well. Easy cleanup. Boostio, they've got the right idea. Let's hope they can make it stick for the remaining 3.5 minutes left in this map.
That's actually a big pickup on the Soul. I was going to say a big pickup on the Silver Cookie. He's there to get that revive.
Still burnt the revive out though. It's not available for the next fight.
Thos is going to want to be careful he doesn't get caught off. Priv is right after him, but thinks better of it.
I think they were trying to lure Priv around. Had the Sombra there as well and support ready to hack the Doomfist if possible.
And oh, that's a big pick on the Thos there.
Interesting choice though, using the two flankers to try and take down a Bastion.
Well, they can get the hack here, but Priv he's going to get another, and oh dear.
Yeah, a lot of it riding on J-Hole. That EMP is going to be the fight turner, but you see the ultimates are coming out. The Gravitic Flux, the configuration tank as well is far too strong. Boostio's holding solid here, and they get J-Hole. They've given up on the Sombra strat already.
Yeah, and they still have 3 ultimates, even though they did use a couple there with Sigma and also the Bastion one. They still have 3 ultimates to go into this next fight. Sane is the only one, and possibly Crockett and Ravani to have ultimates on the side of Orisa Dive. Thos has already used his bomb, and J-Hole has already used his Deadeye, and Nuclear, they really need to take him down, otherwise they are not moving this card anywhere.
Oh wow, Priv was ready for Thos to come around the side there. There you go, ready again. Where's that Tracer? Oh, it's a nice little 1v1 in the backline. What's the recall? There, the Transcendence invested on the point, dives on top of the Bastion. They're trying to take it out. Both supports are there, but Nuclear is going to finish off J-Hole. Finity finally finishes off the Bastion. K-Rocket taking Silver out of the fight as well. Resurrection is there for Nuclear, but it is too little too late. Orisa Dive will finally be making progress through this point, and can Boostio even get back?
I think they should be able to get back for this next fight. Whether they can get set up is the problem. Because they got that revive in, it makes it really, really difficult for everyone to get back in time here, because they're only just now are they pushing around, and they've actually just completely switched off the Bash at this point. It's just fast. They just need to battle on point. They know that, and they're pushing it as quickly as possible.
Battle is on point. The Immortality field goes down immediately, as does Depression. That's the Baptiste. That's all that AoE healing out of the fight. Thos picking up 2 in the middle of that. Saiyan out of the fight. It's now a trade. Both supports down. For the side of Orisa Dive, this could be what Boostio needs. It's very even on the cart right now. It's a 2v2, and there's a Gravitic Flux as well. Picks up both the remaining attacking members, slaps them down. Thos is out of the fight. Affinity out of mech, and Boostio saved the day. 3 meters left on the cart, and they are back in control.
And there's only 40 seconds on the clock now, and they've got no ultimates really in sight besides Ravani's to come up in a few. On the other side of things, though, it's pretty much the same story for Boostio, so this could come down to an early pick to see who decides, because this is the last fight. It comes down to this.
Arissa dive needs to live up to the second part of the name here. That dive needs to be perfect. See, K-Rocket still on the Winston, diving in, dodges the accretion, or I believe actually Affinity might have taken the brunt of that. Saiyan though, out of the fight, Priv doing what Priv does best, getting in there, playing havoc with the support line. There is a angry scientist on the field. K-Rocket doing what they can with the Primal Rage. There's trades going back and forth. The Sand Barrier from Boostio just to keep the remaining members alive. It might be enough to turn the tide of the fight. There's a supercharge down as well. The healing and damage coming out from the defense will be massive, though it's taken out for the Pulse Bomb. A smart use of that ability by Thos, keeping the attackers in the fight, and now they're going to overwhelm the Boostio. They're going to push the cart through, take out Rialto, and put themselves up on match point. Orisa Dive takes Rialto.
And again, a Boostio, they got both the healers of Orisa Dive. You would think that would get them the fight, but then J-Hole gets, but then they lose both their DPS, and sometimes you really need your damage out on the field, and in that instance they really did. A valiant hold from Boostio, considering it was only 71 meters. And we see a nice
strike now, about 4 people. Oh, that's what a great feeling is Reinhardt. Turn the corner, you press the 5-strike button, and oh look, the other enemy team's there. From there's my ultimate. Oh.
And this is really frustrating. So Boostio, 2 maps where they feel like they really had a chance to take either of them, especially there. They look like they had that fight. They took down both the healers. They can't quite finish it off there. And Orisa Dive are now just 1 map away from closing this one out in this best of 5.
And at the end of this match, I mean, it has to be said, we're going to be nominating an MVP, and K-Rocket right there showing that they are a great candidate for that position. Not only are they a solid Winston, they're also great at Reinhardt as well. We saw that at the start of the day as well, those little sneaky little flank shatters turning the tables on Ambulance when Orisa Dive played them, and they're making a great case for themselves to be the best player on field in this match.
J-Hole as well has been really good on that McCree, especially with the fights. He's won a few, especially on that first push there from Boostio. There was a couple of times where we thought Boostio actually might have it and take it away, but the Deadeyes, he's just using them as, in essence, to really just get one pick either onto a healer or anyone, and then he's just immediately just going in, trying to get the flashbangs onto the other ones. And he's just getting nice picks, and the healing he's getting is keeping him up. On the other side of things, Priv, again, he's playing really good stuff at the moment. He just dives really well, especially onto the healers, and it's always hard to kill a Doom, no matter what he's doing. Even someone like me playing Doom, who is basically, I shouldn't even be using keyboard and mouse at that point. But for someone like Priv to get in there, it's just, he just needs someone to just go along with him a bit. I don't think that Nuclear has been bad on with his DPS. He's actually looked very good, especially on that last game against Ambulance, but he hasn't quite shown up so far in this one, although his Bastion was quite fun to watch, especially holding that. They almost held that on that bridge for that whole 4 minutes. That would have been something.
It would have been indeed. And yeah, you mentioned Nuclear, also the McCree, the Hundo have been spectacular tonight. I also enjoyed watching Kookaburra as well. An aggressive, no fear support coming in on that Lucio, on that Mercy, you know, willing to resurrect anything and everything. Sometimes it doesn't pay off, but that's the life of an aggressive
I feel like
Mercy.
someone needs to tell Cookie that they actually can die, because they fly around like Mercy, like they can just revive anything and get out of there, and that's it. Because it's been a couple of times where they've been caught off, but overall they've played their role very well. How it goes from here, as it looks like we will be going to Volskaya Industries. It's now or never for Boostio. They need to win this map to keep this one going. Orisa Dive, they know they only need one more. Whether or not that plays in their minds, I don't think it will. But it really just comes down to the big team fights, and whether or not that Boostio just need to start winning them. I think it just comes down to that, really. The couple of big team fights that you would think Boostio have taken advantage of, they've lost. And they just need to amend that, and they should be able to take at least this map and possibly push forward.
Yeah, it looks like there's, in particular, the comms from Orisa Dive are probably a little cleaner. That win the fights, yeah, sometimes they go down a couple of members, but then they're coming back and getting kill after kill after kill. And it's running dive comp, that's very important that your comms are good. And they're showing that theirs are fantastic. Coming to Volskaya, I'd be a little worried as Boostio. My dive is really good, particularly here on point A. So I'd be very wary of what I run. Maybe want to run something a little brawly. You know, Orisa Dive is likely to be running that dive. Perhaps go with the Brigida, go with the McCree. Maybe even go the Reaper if you're feeling up to it.
Well, they will be on attack again for the first one. They need to get at least this first point of Volsky. If you can't get the first point of Volsky, you usually are in a bit of trouble. And it looks like it's going to be what seems like a bunker sort of setup over on the side of Orisa Dive. We've got a Bastion, Orisa, and we've also got the Baptiste Invincibility there. We've got a Mercy for the damage boost, and J-Hole is going back to his Widow, which he had a lot of fun with on that first map over on Ilias. And Infinity, of course, picking up Sigma.
They've seen what Boostio runs and said, you know what, you run bunker, we can run bunker too. Boostio looks like what they might be setting up for is they might have been expecting that dive to come in, so perhaps a little surprise waiting for them as they run into the bunker of Orisa Dive, you know?
Yeah, and they picked up the Reaper, which is what you were just talking about, which I guess Nuclear's feeling it. He wants to change something up because they're going to be sitting right at the back. They're just going to let them basically come to point. J-Hole's or sort of off by himself in his own position. And yeah, it's be interesting to see if they're going to jump down or literally just sit up there. Or they're going to go up to them, I think.
Everyone but Nuclear. J-Hole is trying to 1v1 the Reaper and loot out the Hellfire shotgun to the head. It's going to be too much for the Widowmaker, and the rest of Boostio hunting down the defending team. That rotation not quite working out for Orisa Dive. Even though the resurrection is there, it's not going to be enough. Infinity is the last to fall. Boostio with a fantastic split push there, taking the point in no time flat.
Yeah, less than a minute there, and I think there was Ravani sort of got caught off by the Nuclear actually being on Reaper because they were sort of hidden around the corner, and J-Hole was just taken down immediately, and before Ravani could even respond with some healing, and yeah, it was just that quickly. And I said they needed to get the first point at least, and they've done that in pretty ample time. So they've got 5 minutes on, well, almost 6 minutes on the clock to see if they can push this through quickly, and they're just going straight into it.
And look at the ultimate percentages. The Orisa Dive have to change off. They've got nothing. Boostio, nothing yet, but they are so close. Silver swinging away. Out of the fight. Silver does get traded out for K-Rocket, but the kills all in Boostio's favor so far. Priv coming up big with 2. That McCree 3 as well.
Oh, there's no way.
Right now, and now it's just going to have to be the stalls. No one's even going to get back. 5 minutes 20 on the time bank. What is this?
Oh, dearie me. Well, we saw this from Wambulance on their last map where they added 30 seconds. This is a minute 22, and Volsky does have that sometimes where if you get on a roll, you can get just moving through. But the thing was there, they didn't really use a lot of ultimates or anything. It was just they won the team fights. They were scrappy, but they won them, and Boostio, they just basically rolled through them. And it wasn't, and I guess in essence, Orisa Dive, when they were trying to use that bunker comp, they sort of got caught out by the fact that Boostio actually went up to them. They had to move off. They didn't have time to reset up. J-Hole got taken down early, and then the push in there, they had to switch off. They lose all their ultimate charge. Boostio have a few of theirs ulted up. They didn't really even need to use it. They lost at least 2 or 3 members on that push. They still win the fight though. Lucio was just also went back, just popped the Mora back just in case she thought she might want to jump on point, and minute 5:22, and well, I guess it's they've put their foot down to Orisa Dive and said your move.
And what a nice little play, Boostio. Perhaps expecting the dive, and I mean, we've got to talk about Orisa Dive briefly. We've seen how good they are. The dive part of the name, the Orisa part, not so much. So I'm questioning. Going back to that false advertising question, why did you call yourselves Orisa Dive?
Yeah, it's at this point it's just annoying. It's just blatant, flagrant false advertising. I will not stand for it. It's looking like Orisa is not going to be there again. Very sad, but it's going to be 2 tanks against each other. This fight already underway.
This composition from Boostio, they're almost probably about as brawly can get right now. With the May, with the Reaper, with the Brigida, everyone wants to close the distance. J-Hole, no such need. Nuclear is taken down, and now with a 6v5, Orisa Dive's going to push straight onto the point. They want to replicate Boostio's success. K-Rocket just swinging through, trying to build up that Earthshatter as fast as possible. And Thos now on the Widowmaker as well. Takes depression out of the fight. There's no support available for the defending team. A nice little flex back from Orisa Dive will hand them the point. Priv, not quite enough being done. And now Orisa Dive in almost the same position. I'm feeling like I'm having deja vu right now.
It does seem that way, and the thing there was Thos basically had no one to counter him at all. Like Priv, what he could have done is possibly teleport up to him, but he's got to remember he's got to stick with his team because they had already lost a member of the May, Nuclear, and then from there they lost depression. Thos managed to get to a pick there. He's basically unchallenged. He manages to just have free reign over that, and from there they just all get it done, but this could not... Doesn't look like it's going to be quite going the way of the last fight happened before.
Nah, great wall there from Nuclear. Swapped off the maze, so lost their percentage, but given a little time to build it up. And that fight, they've denied Orisa any chance at the snowball, because now they've got 3 fantastic ultimates available of their own, closer to others. What looked like an almost short push for Orisa Dive now is very balanced. As they get Orisa Dive coming in, the Earthshatter though is out from Silver, lays down 3. The follow-up is there as well. Priv with those shotguns spamming in the damage. The Biotic Grenade will also not... Oh, sorry, the Biotic Grenade onto Boostio will not quite do much. Orisa Dive forced back. Neither team using many ultimates though. Both being very smart with their ultimate play.
And you just love to see that. Rocket just drops it down for a second. Silver takes full advantage, gets the slam. He gets... And that just allows Priv to get in. He's already charged up to his ultimate. And they have 4 ultimates for this next fight. And it's 4 on the side of Orisa Dive as well. And looks like Thos is immediate. So he's going to get off that Widow. He's going to be switching over to a Reaper himself. So they want the Reaper battle. And it's basically the same across the board almost.
I
with a
wouldn't
few of
be
these
surprised
ones.
if we saw J-Hole swap up after the Deadeye is used onto the May. Give us the mirror composition. Oh, that's a nice wall. It knocks a couple of members off, so they're not able to fully rotate around. Oh no! We see K-Rocket charge on the point, straight into a Graviton Surge, burned down. There's the Deadeye from J-Hole, picks up 1, but the rest of the kills in this fight all going the way of Boostio. The self-destruct takes Cookie Burrow out of the fight. Numbers are not your friend, Affinity. You also have to get away. No, not even going to take a dive off the side. Takes Priv out of the fight, incidentally. Just the large health pack.
And that could come back to bite them because, oh yeah, Ravani comes in to save, and you know what you get for saving your teammate? You get slammed into a wall.
Okay, K-Rocket able to dodge the wall, gets very low. Now Boostio needs to be careful, but they are able to get back in. Oh, Affinity gets stuck on the moving platform trying to boost in.
Yeah, now with Moira coming back, Ravani there on the side of Orisa Dive, we're going to see another fight coming close.
Oh, K-Rocket dodges the wall, but does not dodge the Shatter. Silver charges through, takes the Reinhardt out of the fight, as well as the Moira, the Blizzard on the top to make sure Saiyan can't escape. Wow, Boostio doing a fantastic job with the defense here.
Yeah, and Affinity's just gone, jumps off the side of the map as you do, and again another huge shatter from Silver, this time a 4-man. He gets 2 with the charge and the swing in after that, and already it's taken down to what is basically 230 at this point, and they're already half the time of what Boostio were after their 2 fights. And well, now it's got to be now. They've got to get this now, because if it gets any lower it becomes really hard from there.
I think still must be watching the stream, heard us singing K-Rocket's praises and thought, you know what, you ain't seen a Reinhardt yet. They're doing a fantastic job on this defense, and Nano Boost invested onto K-Rocket, seeing what they can do, but they're cut off by the wall. They're forced to use the shield, the Earthshatter goes down, it only lays down 1. J-Hole still on that McCree, has the Deadeye over the top, takes Priv out of the fight, no Wraith form, dodge that, great fire grenade actually. See if Orisa Dive is able to capitalize on that, but it doesn't look like it. The trades are even, and it's only going to favor the defending team as the May wall goes up to stop any form of retreat. J-Hole doesn't know the meaning of the word actually. Doesn't, you know, maybe the S key is broken on their keyboard, who knows. They're not able to get out with their life in the end. And again, Orisa Dive is repelled. Yeah,
and Orisa Dive, they sort of just stuck around there. They saw it was a 4v3 situation. Oh, and Nuclear just donks Thos in the back of the head as well, just for good measure. And that just, unfortunately, they do lose basically a minute off that because they were waiting. And that May wall there from Nuclear was fantastic. Just walled off J-Hole, couldn't get the one going. And then the shatter from, I I think it was Crockett there. It was actually a decent shatter, but it only picked up one person because Silver had charged in. There was no shield for them. Unfortunately, he couldn't capitalize on it, and now there's only a minute 15 on the clock, and this could be the last fight here.
Especially with Nuclear having that Blizzard online.
And there's only one ultimate over on the Orisa Dive as well, so it could be all here.
K-Rocket gets the support they need. This time, Orisa Dive was ready for it, but the Blizzard is all over this point. The attacking team cannot get in, cannot get anywhere. Nuclear picks up 2 off the back of that Blizzard as well. This Mei is, well, not on fire so much. Mei is a coal-based hero to cold fire, cold fusion. I don't know. I should actually think of a proper metaphor for Mei is doing really well, but 40 seconds left on the clock for Orisa Dive.
Yeah, and they do have 3 ultimates coming into this one, so I feel like that fight for them was more just to charge up. But on the other side of things, Boostio still have 4 ults. They're feeling pretty fine. Priv has his as well, and he might just hide away and wait. And that is exactly what he's just waiting up on the edge, waiting for them to slowly push in. He's not going to be ready for K-Rocket though, who actually knocks him down. And Nuclear's going to go down as well, so that actually makes it pretty interesting.
Going on a rampage, the counter shadow from Silver will be big. K-Rocket knocked down. The Graviton Surge into the back line as well. The Death Blossom picks up 3. Self-destruction over the top, just an afterthought at this point. The overtime wick will burn down. Affinity is not long for this world. Orisa Dive thwarted. Boostio keeping themselves in this map. We are going to a map 4.
And again, well, Priv, he didn't quite get his ult off the way he would have liked, or he was trying to do, but he still gets a huge 3-man there. And again, Nuclear with another huge freeze as well. And it was just, overall, it was fantastic stuff. King Penguin as well, as we see in this play of the game. His shields and stuff, and just that's the big one there. And Priv is just like, thank you very much, mother, for the chickens. I will take that one all day of the week. And, well, we go to map number 4. We keep rolling.
Jeez, I'm enjoying this DPS from Boostio, proving so flexible. We talk praises on the Doomfist, now on the Reaper making an impact, and Nuclear. I've loved what Nuclear's been doing on the Mei. The walls have been spectacular, consistently isolating K-Rocket, forcing all the resources to be vested on K-Rocket to be kept alive if Orisa Dive is even able to get around the wall in time before K-Rocket dies. So they've identified the strong front line and they're able to counter it. So fantastic play from Boostio.
Silver as well, fantastic shatters. There was at least 3 times there where he just got big shatters of 4 or more people, and it just kills the fight. Even if he didn't quite get the kills, it just stops everything in their place. They're just getting back up. They don't have time to regroup or get back together. And for Orisa Dive, they pretty much got rolled on the attacking side of things. They couldn't quite get it done on their attack. Even though the first point they got there, J-Hole actually had a lot of work there with the Widow where he had no one really going towards him. Unfortunately, going over to the second side there, he really didn't have, I guess, the spots to do it. I would have probably liked him to stay on the Widow for a bit longer, see what he could have gotten off, but they tried to match them with the Mei and the Reaper of their own for a few of those fights. It didn't really work out, and all credit where credit's due to Boostio. They just the better team in that map.
So it looks like they've found the counter to this Orisa Dive composition. It'd be interesting to see if Orisa Dive, so picking a hybrid map now, it's interesting to see if they pick a dive-centric map. Maybe
be interesting to see if they pick an Orisa. That'd be nice.
I just want to see the Orisa Dive at one point today.
I don't care who wins this. I'm just here to see an Orisa on Orisa Dive.
The question is, will it not be King's Row? Because you know what, King's Row is King's Row. We haven't seen a non-hybrid map. Sorry, we haven't seen a hybrid map that is not King's Row yet today. I don't think I've seen a hybrid map that is not King's Row in a lot of tournaments this year.
Well, it's a favourite map, so there's no reason for it not to happen. So this is number 3 for King's Row. Is it the last time we will be seeing both of these teams in action? Orisa still only need the one map to face this out. Boostio need to win King's Row and then also take out whatever the last map will be. For the side of Orisa Dive, I think definitely going into this one, they need to focus on just keeping their grouping a bit more secure. I think this will suit them a bit more, considering it's more of a payload run rather than the control points. They seem to struggle on that a bit more. Now they can... I feel like Boostio could set up the pirate ship again. They've done that a few times, where they've just managed to go on to get into the bunker and just get down there, but Again, Infinity has been playing pretty well on that Diva so far. He got caught out a couple of times on the false Skyer there where he just wasn't really in the right positioning, but overall he's been pretty good. I think he'll bounce back all right here. And possibly Thos, not seeing a whole lot from him. There was that nice one, he got donked in the back of the head trying to run away from I think it was Nucleus May, and well, they're going to keep basically the same lineup that they did on DPS style. At least they did on Volskaya. They've got the May and they've got the Reaper, although that is subject to change. What is not subject to change is the defense map, or the defense team, I looks at, which is, of course, Orisa Dive, Crockett, and Affinity with the Zarya and Ryan respectively. J-Hole is going to keep going with his trusty McCreen. Thos is back to that Widow, which I hope he does keep. And looks like it's going to be Ravani is going to switch over to the Lucio late there. Sane on the Ana. And yeah, on the other side of things, so they want us to try and do a dive bit here. They've got, well, they did have a Winston, but Silver's thought better on it. And now also the King Penguin, they've decided late to go just the Rhine Zarya. So two Rhine Zaryas running into each other here. Both DPS the same. Well, the DPS are both different. Both healers the same as we get ready to go into this first fight.
So it'll come down to the DPS matchup. Will the close range May Reaper have the edge over the McCree Widowmaker on defense? Right now it is Bustio who are taking up position on the point. The wall is going to cut off a little bit of the support available for K-Rocket. They're forced to retreat into the Alderworth Hotel. In the meantime, the kills are coming through. Saiyan starting out with a Barter Grenade onto Silver. Thos and K-Rocket getting in on the action as well. That was a nice little flex back from the defending team. They give up a tick, but now they have control of the point again.
And I think they were happy to do that as well, Orisa Dive, because they wanted to get Thos into the action, and Thos was able to do whatever they liked there. Basically, the moment that Bustio got on point, they were fighting everyone on the left side, and they would realize too late that Thos was tucked away in the right corner. They were able to just get instant damage without really getting challenged because of what they've got. As we start this next fight, and oh dear.
King Penguin tried to go through the Alderworth solo, botted out, and it cut down by the McCree. Oh, nice charge, and Silver not quite able to follow it up though. Gets killed by Saiyan again. Bustio forced back, and I mean, as Bustio, how are you even going to contest these DPS if you can't even get close to them?
Yeah, they're really struggling to sort of just get in beside them there. I would think they might do this. Priv has only got 30% charge on that Reaper Stone. Ooh, almost actually gets taken down by a fire strike there. They've been doing really well on that Ana so far. And it looks like JL's going to be pulling out at that high noon for not much. Just
you're going to get out. I want to get charged for a late checkout in the hotel. Okay, the die wastes itself down. The Nano Boost is now onto Silver. The Earth Shatter is out, but it's blocked. Earth Shatter from K-Rocket is so much better, and the damage is there to follow it up as well. Orisa Dive have this point on lockdown.
Yeah, I think K-Rocket wasn't too happy about what happened last map, so Silver goes in for the Shatter, doesn't quite get it right, and K-Rocket goes, nah man, this is how you do it. Puts 3 down in the back lines, and from that point the fight is basically over. And only one ultimate, two ultimates here for Bustio as they push in, and dear.
That's a nice little grab on the wall. The sound barrier will counter it, not before King Penguin goes down, unfortunately, for Bustio. They do trade out K-Rocket, and this will be a big opening. The Blizzard has given them the space they need to get improved, getting the kill onto Affinity. There's no tanks, no Lucio available for Orisa Dive. This looks like it will be what Bustio needs. Kookaburra, no fear, runs straight into the Deadeye, finishes up J-Hole as well. Bustio making progress on point A.
And Nuclear, the wall, and also the freeze. K-Rocket tried to charge out of that one, but to no avail. And they've also lost someone. I think that's Thos. Yeah, they are stuck all the way back at the second spawn, so they're going to have to fall back a bit. Gives time for Bustio to push that one up. And again, that was just one player, and you just lose that shield. It's just such a big thing, especially when you've got someone like Priv, who can basically at that point just shoot to his heart's content without really worrying about much as they move in for this next fight here.
Bustio trying to make space in the street space. They've got a couple of corners. Nicely baited out. The Earth Shatter as well. It's blocked by the shield. Saiyan does get a kill on the Priv. He goes a little too far forward. It finishes on Nuclear as well. Saiyan is having the map of their life right now. The fire grenades are on fire. The left clicks are on fire. I've got to wonder, is anyone on the side of Orisa Dive getting any healing, or is it all just damage for coming out from the Zana?
No, I just don't. Well, I think it was...
Over the back as well. That was a nice little combo there. They noticed that Orisa Dive was split and made them pay the price for their arrogance. So you got to push the cart, Bustio.
The Thoth still actually managed to get 2 kills there, but the thing was that last fight before Boostio just took that one, King Penguin chucked a bubble onto, I think it was Nuclear, trying to get the Mei out of there, and just immediately got deleted. Like, it was so quick, so there's a lot of damage coming outside, but even with that, there's still 2:20 on the clock. They're almost at the second point here, and they've got 3 ultimates for this next fight up against just the 1, or it should be 2 with J-Hole just about to get his up for this next one.
Grav is close as well. Thos picks up depression straight away. Just to Lucio left. Oh, Silver with the Earth Shatter charges. Removes Affinity from the fight as well. But K-Rocket and Thos have something to say about the state of affairs. Nuclear as well. It's trades back and forth. But you've got this massive Reinhardt swinging back and forth. Thos trying to 1v1 Nuclear. He will see who wins the battle. No, it's K-Rocket who wins the battle. Always bet on the big German man with the hammer.
Again, that fight was pretty much... If you take Thoth out of the equation there on a different DPS hero, you probably say that Boostio win that fight. But Thoth is just... He's getting just kills for free because no one is able to really dive him for where he is and what he's playing. Like, for Mei, it's a lot harder because you've got to worry about what's on point. Reaper as well. Like, you can think about teleporting. But the moment you teleport near Thoth, like, that's just an instant kill. As Thoth pulls out his ult, like, go with this next fight.
Oh, goes low, forced it back out, able to get away. Great friendly biotic grenade. The sound barrier is out, but it's not going to stop the Earth Shatter coming through from K-Rocket. They'll finish up Silver at the start of the fight. They swap out J-Hole and Saiyan. Oh, they lose K-Rocket as well. The Reinhardt going a little too aggressive. Thos doing what they can in the backline. But looks like enough is enough so far. Boostio, a minute left on the clock, and they've got to get back to this card.
And again, it's just the anti-grenades from saying that there was actually a 4v3 situation, but she basically managed to just anti everyone that was there, and that was just Boostio's way of saying, okay, we need to pull out of this fight, and it lets them at least go for one. They just group up one more fight. This is it. 30 seconds on the clock. It all comes down to this.
Sound Barrier, the only ultimate on the field for Orisa dive so far, and that might be what they need to turn the tide of the fight. Priv goes down, Silver goes low, and Bio Grenade forced to retreat. K-Rocket swinging through, trying to pull up the Earth Shatter again, but pays for it with their life. Sound Barrier so close, but not quite quick enough to save the Reinhardt. The Graviton Surge is well invested. Now we're seeing Boostio on the field. It's the wrong team, but I don't care. It's out. King Penguin burns down too. The Blizzard is on the defending team right now. They are not long for this one. Boostio, they see their calling card, their mascot circling the cart, and they say, you know what? We don't care if it's on the team. We're going to take in this point right now. Priv will be the one that gets the job done in the end. Thos, yeah, just a Widowmaker. Not really a cart contester.
If Thos managed to get Priv there, that would have actually been heartbreaking. But again, Thos is just getting all these picks. They are not missing a beat. But credit to where credit's due. Boostio, I really thought they'd lost that fight, but they managed to pull it back together. Like, they lose Priv early, but now Priv, he's got that ultimate. And they just need to deal with Thos. He's just such a pain at the moment. And Mei is trying, because it puts so much pressure, especially over towards Depression as they push in towards this next fight.
Oh.
And, well, it's not really much of a fight, I guess. Penguin's already gone down.
Yeah, they've Diva caught out of position. K-Rock cut off a little bit there, but there's no one else to follow up. See what Silver is trying to do in the high ground. 45 seconds left in the clock, and the ultimate bank. Look at that, they have the Earth Shatter. They have the Graviton Surge. They have the War Hacks. Just Thos to see where the attacking team is coming. What can Boostio do?
They need something. They just need a big shatter or something just to come up. Priv needs to go huge, and Cookie needs something to work well here.
The Deadeye is just staring at a wall. J-Hole, oh, okay. Actually, to dodge the awesome. Priv taking out of the fight. Thos coming up big. Oh my word, K-Rocket's very, very low. Has to retreat, hold on to the Earth Shatter. The Graviton Surge will keep them away. Cookie Bro gets stunned out of the sound barrier. There's no protection available for Boostio. They are being melted down. The overtime clock is melting down as well. J-Hole just sitting behind these crates, taking pot shots at King Penguin on the high ground. The Nano Boost invested onto the Diva just to keep the mech alive on the point. As reinforcements coming back for the attacking team, but the sound barrier means there's not going to be any kills coming through for them. The Deadeye takes Silver out of the fight as well. Overtime is still there. Nuclear's back on the Tracer, just trying to keep Boostio's hopes alive right now on this attack. The Tracer is finally going to finish off. Saiyan coming up with that. But in the end, Orisa Dive will stop Boostio 30 meters into point C.
Yeah, so I don't think Boostio will be too fast with getting at least the 2, because it almost looked like they wouldn't get that second point. So they've definitely got something to work with here. Thos just had free reign there for basically all of that. And you saw that Priv tried to go after him with basically a solo ult there, and it just didn't work, and Thos just deleted him off the server. And also, the other one there, I think it was the Lucio ult was about to go down, and then J-Hole with the flashbang stopped it, stunned him out of it, and from that, basically the fight was over. The point was done. And now they need 2 points and 30.19 meters to take this series and win the coveted KOALA Cup. Orisa Dive, can they do it? As it looks like it's going to be a... No, it's not the bunker setup. I was thinking they might try that one. They've tried it a few times already on previous maps, but it is going to be the Sigma, the double shield, still Sigma, and also the Rhine, Silver, and Penguin picking those ones up. They've got the Anna and the Cookie. Burra is back on the Mercy. Priv is back on the Doomfist, which I'm sure he's happy to be. Nuclear will stay on the May. And the other side of things, Thos has switched over to a Reaper, or well, actually looks like a Soldier now they picked there. J-Hole sticks to his trusty McCree, and it's still the Rhine, Zarya, Lucio, and Anna as the healers. Well, that's a fairly anti-grenade, because why not? And they are... Ooh, I like this. They're all hiding in the right room, and well...
Hotel, yeah.
And now they've noticed, and the thing is, they've got absolutely nowhere near that, and asleep there almost immediately on the silver. He's gonna be just be out of K-Rock. He's gonna be out there for a while as they're moving towards this. I feel like it's gonna be a first fight. They're putting it off for as long as possible.
Just drawing out the anticipation. They've seen depression on the high ground. Thankfully, the Ana able to dodge away. You know, identifies the danger. It's a long rotation. If it works, it's great, but if it doesn't, it's wastes so much time. So Orisa Dive need to make a decision where they want to attack. And look, they've said oh my god, they baited Priv. Cookie Bro, what are you doing? Went up for the res, gets eliminated. Orisa Dive are going to take the point just like that. K-Rocket does not care that he's bio-grenaded. We're going to get the kill onto Silver as well. J-Hole finishing with about 3 kills in that fight. Wow. That
was so interesting to watch because they basically just switched positions. Cookie basically went from... Oh, well, not Cookie, sorry. Boostio basically went from defending to the attacking side of things, and then Orisa Dive basically looked like they were the ones defending. It was very interesting to watch. But again, it was just the Anna nade, but it was Priv. Priv was diving up, trying to pick up... He got baited in hard. J-Hole gets the flash, gets him off. Cookie, I couldn't actually tell if they were trying to get the revive or try to kill J-Hole, but in the end...
You killed my Doomfist!
It didn't work out, and well, the first one taken pretty quickly. And ooh, although that is very useful.
Pick. Yeah, Thos was asleep on the high ground as well. He's able to escape those old man legs doing the job, getting that Soldier 76 out of dodge. And it looks like Boostio is falling back though, even with the Reinhardt gone for Orisa Dive. They're very
I think they also lost, it must have been their own Anna, which is
protect them. K-Rocket just got back but did not have that shield up. A wall traps anyone from trying to escape as well. But in the end, it's J-Hole with that Nano Boost, the Electric Cowboy on the field. Picks up 3 kills, cleans house, gets frozen in the blizzard. Just a support left, but looks like they're going to push the cards for now. I take that back. Nuclear, 2 headshots in a row. Seeing what J-Hole's done, said, I can do it better. Has the Nano Boost as well. This May is a terrifying beast right now. Forced back into the Cryo Freeze, but it is enough for Boostio to stabilize. Wow, what a turnabout fight.
And it was just watching that, it was so back and forth, but it was the Anna boost on the J-Hole who just went mental with 3 kills there. Basically winning the fight. Didn't probably push the cut as much forward as they would have liked, but
Nuclear, Earth Shadow, bio-grenaded. That is a smart play to take the May out of the fight. Silver had the shield up, but the May went too far forward, and the rest of the kills, with the support of the Sand Barrier, going the way of Orisa Dive. They're going to push through point B uncontested.
And I actually like how they used the Lucio ult as well, because it just gave them the more aggressive edge just to really push in for those fights. They didn't have to worry about being taken down as much. And well, this is it. 4 minutes 34. They need to stop this forever. And J-Hole is just having
20 meters.
Just spinning around in circles.
This could be the cup
We're almost
right
there.
here, right now, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot draw. There will be a winner on this map, and it looks like right now Orisa Dive is in the pole position. They do get grabbed. Silver's taken out of the fight. Priv, the Death Blossom, only picks up Ravani. Actually takes K-Rocket down at the end of that as well. So Bristol, their backs are on the edge of that little abyss right there. They push back, and they have kept themselves in this map so far. They've got no ultimates, but they are close and getting closer.
Yeah, and Priv, he needed that to go off, and he was so glad to get the follow-up, because if he'd only got one there, it would have still been a 5v5. And they're just going to go straight back into this. They know that they've got one stuck behind, and the high noon's coming out as well.
Nano Reaper, the high noon. J-Hole picks up two. The entire tank line is exterminated. Thos picking up Priv as well. This cut, there's not much they can test. The Cookie Bro taking it down. Nuclear gets on back, but it's not enough. Orisa Dive will push through. They've taken King's Row. They've taken the match and the cup.
And that is all she wrote. Orisa Dive take that one out. J-Hole flying through on that with the double Deadeye to really just finish it off. When you get both tanks on Deadeye, you know you've done a job. And Crockett showing us why he wasn't too pleased. We were talking a bit too much about Silver the last map, and he thought, you know what, I need to show you my Reinhardt gameplay. And they get it done. And saying, I've got to say, 6 nano boosts applied. 15 nano boost kills overall. They were fantastic, both with healing, just the actual DPS damage they were doing as an Ana. It was really great to watch. But full credit to Boostio. They took it to 4 maps. They tried as they might to hold that last one. They just kept getting caught out on the, I guess, the long spawn on King's Row, especially when you lose the first one. And even with where they were, where the cart was placed, if it was a bit further forward, it actually would have suited them more. But because it was sort of so far forward from their own spawn, it made it really difficult to get back. And Orisa really exploited that one. Even when they lost that first fight, they pushed in really quickly after that. They get the job done, and they are the KOALA Cup champions.
Yeah, congratulations to Orisa Dive for when it comes to MVP. Who do you believe was the best on field? You talked about Sayan. Is that the standout play? Is it J-Hole who's coming up so good on that DPS? K-Rocket, the Reinhardt, the Winston, the tank extraordinaire. Who is your best
It's really hard to pick, honestly. Like, all of the Orisa Dive, at least on that last map, just were fantastic. And when I'm, like, looking at it from... like, I'm just trying to think of all the maps now. It's really hard. I think if I had to just pick one, it would probably have to be J-Hole in the DPS. I thought it was fantastic.
Absolutely.
Just overall on all 3 maps.
Yeah. And on that, that McCree, it was just so good to watch. You see multiple fights coming up with multiple kills, and that's what you need to see out of your DPS. Getting the damage done, getting those final blows, taking opponents out of the fight. That's the DPS's job, and they were showing up big time. So J-Hole, a worthy recipient of that MVP title. I guess I'm happy to nominate everyone else as a very close runner-up on that team. They did a fantastic job, and frankly, all the players across all the teams have done a fantastic job today. They've come out, they've put on a great show for us, and I'm extremely grateful for everyone who tuned in today.
Yeah, everyone just gave one or another just to put in. It was great to watch.
All right, we're going to be interviewing a couple of the members of the winning team. Bear with us while we bring them in. I mean, I would like to just talk about Boostio a little bit more. We saw, you're right, they brought us to with 3-1, and it wasn't a stomp of a series. It was quite close. Yes, Ilios went quite heavily in the way of Orisa Dive, but I mean, Rialto was so close. That was
Rialto. You go back to that. Yeah, you go back to Rialto, that probably is the map. If Boostio won that, we probably are going to a 5th map, because I think King's Row, they were soundly beaten. Ilios, they were all right. They definitely got beaten on the first map at least, but I feel like that Rialto was that map where you look back on it and go, Boostio probably look back and go, if we'd won that, we could have actually got that one out. But unfortunately they didn't, and it looks like we're actually going to be having some interviews. A few of the players popping in now.
We see, we talked about it. We talked about you two specifically. The tank line of Orisa Diver are joining us. Affinity and K-Rocket, welcome. Congratulations on the win. How is the team feeling right now?
Hype.
Pretty pumped.
Pretty pumped, yeah.
It was a good win. We played well together. First time playing together, and it was
yeah. We,
was
uh,
awesome.
we were
Was
we
that
were
the-
hyped for first 2 maps.
Was that the first time you guys were playing together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys actually played really well. That's pretty good for a
Appreciate that.
first up.
Yeah, no, surprised me as well.
I guess overall, like looking, so the first game you guys played against Wambulance and Booster. Did you guys really know anything about either team coming in, or was it more just on the
No.
fly to sort of learn everything?
Yeah, no, I knew
were-
nothing.
Yeah, we had nothing. We legit just fucking we just played push in. We just push in, jump this guy, jump this guy.
Yeah.
Now, I think the big question on everyone's mind: you call yourself Orisa Dive, yet I didn't see a single Orisa in
Well,
any of the games played. So you have a lot to answer to there.
we actually did play Versa Dive though.
We did once
We
on
did
the
once
on the
right.
Rialto
when
offense.
when we
I
attack on
must
the
have blinked and missed it.
yeah we
It didn't
switched-
work so
we
well.
switched off it the first time.
They had a bastion. We weren't planning on them having a bastion, so we walked out with the Orisa dive, and that was just not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been like for instance that Doom of Priv. That must have been actually quite difficult to play against because there was a lot of times he was just diving in and just getting out immediately, managing to get a kill like each time. It was pretty crazy for a few of them.
Yeah, but because like every time he goes in, we kind of trusted our supports. So Saiyan was on Zen, and when we went in, when the Doofus went in, Saiyan could beat a 1v1 against Friv.
We were pretty confident. We were confident in our support.
Yeah, we were confident in our support, so we just push up, and I actually put a solo prime of the Mora a few times.
You did a great job of it. Coming into that King's Row map, you'd taken essentially 4 maps in a row across those 2 matches, and then they came back on Volskaya. Was that a little shake to your confidence there, or did you think, nah, we'll just let Volskaya go and we'll take King's Row?
We would just after that map we were kind of down, but we also kind of like think that like they had to go with Reaper and May to go against us.
Yeah, it was
So-
one of those things. We
Yeah.
played something that we hadn't played throughout the entire tournament with the double shield, and they came out with the May Reaper, Moira Lucio, and just sort of just rolled through us. We didn't expect that,
Yeah.
and we sort of just brushed it off and we're like, yeah, we'll just get the next map.
So on
Wasn't-
King's Row,
wasn't too phased.
yeah. So when on King's Row, when we were defending, we were saying if they have Reaper and May, if the Reaper goes in, McCree keeps his flashbang. So like every time the McReaper goes in, he flashbang the Reaper, and we just focus the Reaper down. He gets no value.
I think also with the King's Row one, there was when you guys went on the attack, you like both teams switched positions. That was very interesting to watch.
Yeah, that was a budget selfless special.
Was it so you broke that defense by baiting Priv in on the Doom Fist and then burning it down? Was that intentional, or was it lucky that he chose to jump on the McCree?
I think that was a bit of luck, really.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of luck because when he goes in, I think Anna kind of anti him, which is the DPS just focus him down.
Yeah, and I think then the Mercy jumped in. I couldn't actually tell if the Mercy was trying to res or was trying to blast down the McCree. It was very hard to tell.
Yeah,
that was strange.
If it was executed correctly, we would have lost that because we didn't know when to push down. But right when right when we picked off Doomfist, we legit just pushed down on them.
Yeah, we pretty much all just screamed, go, go, go.
Yeah. And Faker was saying for most of our defense, he was saying, "I'm gonna flank now, flank anti them," and every time we flank anti them, we just push on them. So that's why we were doing kind of aggressive and also defensive, because we were waiting for his antis.
Yeah, well, you guys, congratulations, the Koala Cup champions for 2020. I don't know if you actually receive a cup. If you don't, I'm guessing you could probably just grab a paint can of gold and grab a cup and just give it a bit of a shine and finish.
If a cup comes in the mail, disinfect it first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't want
Yeah.
none of that COVID.
Well, there we have it, guys. That's the end of the night. That is the end of the Koala Cup. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It has been fantastic to cast this one. Temp, thanks for coming along for the ride with me, guys. Rocket, and also Light, congratulations on the win. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you guys next time.
If you want more information on KOALA, you want to keep up to date on all KOALA Esports events or KC events, I guess, make sure you're following us on Twitter. You're here on the not the Discord, you're here on the Twitch. You know, follow, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Also, join the Discord, get involved in the community. Now, we may do the KOALA Cup every now and then. That'd be nice, but who knows? But if you want the most up-to-date information, make sure you're following us on all our socials. As that is Slim said, thanks for joining us. I've been Temporal, joined by Has Daddy Slim, and joined by Panzer, who's been doing the whole stream. So thanks for stepping up at the last minute, Panzer. That was a fantastic effort.
And just before we do wrap up, I have this quite interesting story. So you guys might not have heard of this one, but so there's this scientist guy, right? And he turns himself into a pickle, and he calls himself Pickle Rick. Bro, funniest shit I've ever seen. Absolutely fantastic.
Ha ha ha.
Thank you to everyone. Thank you everyone who tuned in. Thank you everyone who signed on to play. You put on a great show. We really appreciate it in this void of Overwatch content. We've got no high-level Overwatch content, so we have to make it ourselves. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thanks to everyone who supported the event, made it happen. Thank you and good night.
See ya.